I'm Shane.
And I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back. We're going to roll right into it.
Episode
43?
42.
42?
43? 43.
Yeah, 43. I was right.
Way
Because
to
I
go.
made the meaning of life joke last
That's
time.
right. Oh, I wasn't thinking about it.
You forgot your hitchhikers, man.
Jeez. Feel awful
Shame
now.
on you. Shame on you.
On that note, I mean,
Repent. I'm going to take your towel.
jeez. I'm going to sulk here for a second. I guess we'll go ahead and get into these socials.
There you
so that
go.
way I can cheer myself up when
There
we
you
get
go.
into the real
Make
movie.
Make
here for
yourself
us.
feel better.
So the first one's always the meta. You know,
Yep.
the trio of apps. But again, it's just, you can find us the same place for all of them. It's Kentucky Fried Critics. No spacing, no caps, no symbols, no underscores,
No weird shit.
hyphens, nothing.
No hyphens. Oh.
None of the good stuff or the bad stuff.
or the bad
None
stuff.
of the stuffs.
None of the stuffs.
You know, it's an at or a slash. You figure it out.
Slash hash.
Yeah,
tag,
whatever. Well, it's not that one.
bebop.
I'm positive it's not that one. That being said, if you search by hashtag, I definitely include it in most things that we post. So you will find us.
Yeah, hey, there we go. It's even better. So
there
even
is-
if you fuck up, you're going to find us.
There is definitely hashtag Kentucky Fried Critics. I will say that.
Nice.
That is definitely a hashtag.
So-
If people want to start using it, they can.
Do it. We could trend on, what's it called? Exeter.
Exeter is good, Bo. That was such a clever one, and you don't even get because most people are leaving. Exeter is great. I like it. We'll stick with that. We are not on that one.
I was so clever, I didn't even know.
Yeah, we were not part of the Exeters though.
Yeah, we weren't.
were
part
just
of
never
them. We
there.
were just never
Yeah.
there. This
So-
is my biggest social media presence.
Well,
right
and it's
here.
it's a lot more social. You're
Yeah.
here talking.
Yeah, I like this better.
This is a platform.
I would much rather talk to people. I don't like texts.
You lose some nuance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facial
Like,
expression, tone,
well,
tone
they don't
of voice.
see that yet.
Oh yeah, you can one day.
I'm here to help. If you say something and I feel like people need the extra to be like, Bo,
They're
say
like, yeah,
more.
they don't say it with your hands.
Yeah.
They can't see you. I'm like, oh, yeah,
They
that's
don't
right.
know you're joking because they can't see the funny.
They can't see the me mugging over here like, oh.
All right. I think we've definitely spent our time here. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. That's going to be YouTube.
YouTube.
So it used to be our least favorite, guys. You know.
Home of the glorious hyphen-loving Riddick Rat.
That's right.
My
You
little buddy.
Find us there at youtube.com/@KFC Riddicks.
The Riddick Rat.
That's right.
See how that works?
It is the home of our second mascot.
Yep.
One of our
Co-mascots.
two mascots. Yeah, two mascots. They are leading their army uprising together. You can tell us more.
We're gonna take over
We're
YouTube.
still not sure who's the general, who's the second in command. But if you want to elaborate on that any further for us, feel free. We should definitely just get through these.
Yeah.
The last two we will definitely not make as many jokes, guys. We're just feeling good. It's a fun time. This is a fun movie. You'll see. We're almost there. I'm gonna get us there. I
Yep.
promise. So now we're just gonna. What do we have left?
The website.
Yeah, that's right. First
My
is the
favorite
website,
one.
the hub.
The hub.
It's where everything you can find everything we've already mentioned. You can find the other things we're gonna mention. Everything is here.
I started
at the
a whole
website.
cult off of this.
That's
one.
right. Well, and thankfully you're better now.
Yeah, I'm good.
For it. We should let them know what it is,
It's
and
the-
then they'll understand some more.
Yeah.
It's gonna be shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
Is it over? I didn't move.
He had his
Okay.
ears plugged,
Yeah,
guys.
I was trying.
Fingers totally. He moved the headphones out of the way so he could put his fingers in his ears until we were finished.
One day when we have a camera, it'll be way funnier.
Until then, I'll make sure they know exactly what's happening. I won't let them.
I was trying not to listen, so I didn't dance or do anything.
I won't let them miss a beat. They will
try
totally
and
know.
fucking delay this any further with my shenanigans.
And then the last one, again, this is something that you can find on the website. But if you need to get a hold of us, our comment box or suggestion box, if you will, as we like to tell everybody, the place you can leave more lore.
Yeah.
That's going to be our email address. That's just KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com. All right, guys, that's all of them.
We're
I
done.
know it took us a minute.
We're done. I'm sorry.
We had a lot of fun there, though. Again, we like to do this because I don't care what anybody says. I think at least one of you likes this. At least one
person's laughing
enjoys
along.
that we do this fresh every
it's not
time.
just a
we're
scripted
going.
intro every time.
We try to laugh with you.
That would get boring. We have
I
like
think.
we have the bulletin points.
We
that
try to make
wanna
sure we hit all of them.
but
Sometimes we forget, like the actual email address. I'm not going to call out the episodes, but if you look
if
for
you find
them,
it,
we just forget to say it. We get so into our rant and our riff that
we're doing our bit and completely
Yeah.
forget to tell people the
extra
email.
points for anybody willing to go find them and
Tell
leave
us
that
what
in the
episode
comments.
it was.
Because trust us, they exist.
Yeah,
we
there's
know.
At least, there's
more than one.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's more than one where we forgot the email.
It's bad. On that note, let's move away from the socials.
Let's
Let's move away from our horrible
unscripted intro that rambles on for too fucking long, I'm sure. To the beer.
You want to hit us with the beer?
We are going to be drinking today Brewdog's Elvis Juice.
Grapefruit
Infused IPA. And they were in line. It was very grapefruity, juicy.
Now, again, you guys have heard us before. Sometimes on this, we've literally said we don't enjoy a grapefruit-ish IPA. I say ish because I'm wanting to make the point that there's a difference here.
Yeah. The ones where they don't tell you.
Where the grapefruit is coming from somewhere, but they're not trying to say that was their intention. Those usually
They
are like...
threw some grapefruit zest in there.
Yeah,
just 'cause.
Exactly. It's like the peel. It's like the astringent part. The part that makes your mouth pucker. It's not the good part of grapefruit.
This is the good part.
This is waking up on a Sunday morning for a special treat, and your mom's got the grapefruit cut in half with the special jagged spoon, and you get to dive right in, bowl full of sugar right beside you.
Oh yeah,
that's what this is.
My mom used to do that all the time.
This is delicious. This is dangerously.
Yeah,
delicious.
we don't have too many of these, do we?
It's a 6-pack, but they're 12-ounce cans.
That'll be fine.
Like if this were a 6-pack of the 16-ounce. Ooh. Might be rough, dude.
I could do it.
Yeah.
I believe in me.
But how coherent would what you be saying at the end of everything be?
It would be hilarious, though.
As long as they understand
money on it. Fast forward to that episode in the future. And
we'll give you guys a little bit more after we've drank some of them, but I can tell you right now,
we're still
initial
on the first
taste
one.
test,
pretty good. First few drinks, fantastic.
Definitely.
Watch the bubbles. The bubbles went up my nose and made me sneeze. So look out for that.
So on that note,
what kind of movie could that possibly tie into?
Elvis Juice. Now that's the thing. This is one of those ones.
That's a broad one.
So many people could go so many places. There are so many movies. There are so many Elvis movies.
Just
there
in
are
general.
so many Elvis impersonator movies. There are so many. You know what I mean? Like there are so many places this could go. There are so many movies just about Vegas where you might see a random Elvis in the background.
How many episodes of TV do they go and get married by the Elvis impersonator?
Right? Like, I mean, this could go so many places, and I'm really hoping that this is one of those ones that we get lots of guesses.
Lots and lots of guesses? Me
because
too.
really, we should.
We should, but if they know us at all, like if they've been paying attention to us, they should be able to guess.
Even this one.
It's Bubba Ho-Tep.
Bubba Ho-Tep, guys.
I love this
great movie.
I love this movie.
Came out when I was in college. It was one of those
You're the
movies
perfect demographic for
college kids, college guys especially. You know what I mean? Like in 2002, a bunch of us sitting around in a dorm room basement at 2:00 in the morning. That's what this movie was.
The movie was.
Like we were all watching this. We loved hearing the one-liners from Bruce Campbell. It's Bruce Campbell, so you're just like Evil Dead vibes, but Elvis.
Right? It's almost the same thing. He does fight demons and shit.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's
so
shotgun.
Good. Again, we get some other. We'll save some more of the twists and turns of what the movie is for you guys in a little while. You know how this is. We're not gonna hit all of that yet. It's not like we're trying to say that you can't find out if you want to know. This isn't like spoiler zone.
No, this is a 20-year-old movie.
This is just to make this fun.
Yeah.
It's just to keep the fun of us talking about it.
And if you haven't seen it, hopefully you'll go watch it.
Exactly. The problem here is if they haven't seen it, unless they're stopping it right now.
Which is fine.
This will be spoiler
Pause
zone.
it. Go back.
Yeah, if you don't, again, this is why we don't say spoilers, because I think it's just common sense. If you're coming to this kind of podcast, that if you have any desire to watch the movie,
I do it.
You should do it before you listen.
Yeah,
to
I do it all the time.
I've got a few movie podcasts.
I'll be like, ooh, they're doing that movie. I'm gonna go find it before I listen to this.
And I make the decision. I'll see what movie it is, and I'll be like, I don't need to see it first. I'll listen to what they gotta say.
It's a good.
Or I'll be like, I want to see it before I hear what they gotta say about it.
Sometimes it's a good way to find ones you haven't seen. You're like, I've always heard about that one. I'm gonna go see if I can find it. I totally
will, and maybe that's because obviously we're the type of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we sit here, it would never stop me from, like I'm not the kind of person that knows how a movie ends and is like, I'm not gonna go see it. All right, so yeah, again, this is a movie, 2002, cheap movie.
Yeah, real cheap.
You know what I mean? Like this is not big budget. This is not Hollywood.
Did it go to theaters at all? Do you know?
It might have, but again,
Select theaters did one of those,
or
like a
or
limited
like
run.
super small theaters. You mean
Yeah.
like indie theaters, even? You know what I mean? Like, because 2002 was like kind of the beginning of certain types of theaters like that getting enough prominence that movies would release to them and stuff.
Yeah, we need one of those here.
But so, as we already mentioned, it is Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell is
great.
I guess in this movie, maybe do I say both names?
Elvis and Sebastian Half.
I'm going to go ahead and say on record here, guys. Spoilers if you didn't want to know. Hopefully you've already left.
Yeah, you've stopped the movie. Stop. Go watch.
If
Come
not,
back.
we don't care from this point on.
Yep, we've
This is
already
officially
warned
the
you
last
like
time.
3 times.
More than usual.
Yeah, usually we don't warn you at all.
But yeah, so for this movie, we are dealing with people in an old folks' home dancing on the edge of senility, right?
Yeah,
they're all a little
pretty
bit
nuts.
of senile. Our 2 main characters are probably the most crazy. Oh, I don't know. There's a third, but we'll wait to talk about
We'll wait
him.
to get to him.
But really, our 2 heroes, and I will definitely say heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Our 2 heroes in this movie are definitely of the craziest in the facility.
Yeah, they got some outlandish
Theories
on
who they
are.
So we'll start Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell is either, and again, I won't give you a definitive. I want to make that clear.
No.
I will go through this right now and say you believe what you want to believe.
Yep. Just like the movie does.
That's right. The
You
movie
can
doesn't
take
give
it
you a clear
however you
anything.
want.
Bruce Campbell is playing either Elvis or Sebastian Half, the best Elvis impersonator that ever existed. You make your call. We'll get into the details of what that means
Later.
in a little bit. But just know that it is your choice.
Yeah.
I won't tell you.
I'm not going to do it. I
Because
have my thoughts.
I do too, and I'm not going to tell you them.
Nope.
I think the movie is better
if you get
to live in a world where you decide.
get to be like, it's this way or that way.
because it makes it more entertaining to you and have a connection to you.
And then
way.
you can argue with your friends later. Like, no, it's like that. Like,
Well,
no,
again,
dude,
but
you're totally wrong.
only do it if you're having fun. Like arguing about what's inside the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like everybody's got a theory. And nobody should get mad
It's
because
Marcellus Wallace's soul.
Yeah, well, there's lots of stuff to lean towards the soul for sure.
That's what I think.
I don't think it's his. I think he lost his and he stole someone else's.
Oh, it's a good one.
My main point about this was just that it should be that type of argument, right? Like nobody actually knows, so nobody should get mad about it. It should be a fun argument. Like again, so same thing with this. There's no
friendly
definitive
debate.
Yeah, the movie itself never gives a definitive, so nobody should ever come into it like getting angry. Like you're so wrong. He's definitely Elvis, or he's definitely Sebastian.
You're an asshole. Don't do the usual internet thing, right?
Don't go in and have fun.
We're better than that here, guys. Like,
Go in and have fun with it. Just keep that in mind with his character. And then, like we said, our second hero, our other protagonist.
same thing.
Played by Ossie Davis. He's a guy,
fantastic.
you know him.
You've seen him in
a
all
lot
kinds of
things.
shit.
He's one of those guys.
It's going to be our first t-shirt, swear to God.
He
has that fantastic mustache.
Well, and he's got like those
everything.
cheeks, like almost not jowls because they don't come from far enough down.
He's got like,
but you know what I mean. Like it's like
fat cheeks. I have fat cheeks. I feel it.
You can, and it makes him sound very gruff when he needs to be gruff.
Yeah.
Very jolly when he needs to be jolly. It just like amplifies everything. Right. It's great. I love
Ossie
this
Davis.
guy. He is playing
Jack.
He's a dual character.
Yeah.
But we don't know the other character. You know, like for Bruce, we know it's either real world Sebastian Half or he's delusionally Elvis or vice versa.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want to believe. We know the delusion, but we never get introduced to the real guy's
Jack
name, right?
So
we don't know.
His name might not really be Jack.
Or I guess or we know the real him and we don't know you get again,
you get
I'm
what
not
saying.
trying to tell you
however
guys,
you believe they are, if you think it's real or not.
This one is more outlandish than the last one, but again, I am not going to tell you which one you need to believe.
Yeah, you can believe whatever the fuck you want.
So
he's really Elvis, and this guy is really
JFK. We can just get there. He is playing Jack. This one is, like I said, harder to believe.
Yeah,
he comes up with answers for everything.
Does.
He comes up with answers.
The CIA took part of his brain, dyed him black, to explain why he's a black guy now. Replaced that part of his brain with sand.
What better way to hide him?
Yeah, you'd never suspect him.
So like I said, I'm not here to tell you who to believe and who not to believe in this movie. You believe what you want to believe.
Hey, kayfabe, baby. You want to believe it, I'll go along with it.
But this man definitely is under the assumption that he is
John F. Kennedy.
Well, okay, I forgot because again, we're not director people. The next person I just looked at and reminded me to say the director. I'll say the person first, and then I'll tell everybody why it reminded me that I should say the director. So the next person is Bob Ivy. He plays Bubba Ho-Tep.
Yep, he plays the mummy.
He plays the
title character.
The title,
yeah,
Bubba Ho-Tep. Technically, I will point out, like IMDb in the credits, they say Bubba Ho-Tep. It should say Amenhotep. His real name is Amenhotep.
Yeah, because in the
Bubba is a name they gave him. At no point does he. I know why we call him Bubba. The beginning gives us the definition. I get it. I'm just saying.
I love that.
At no point does he claim himself to be Bubba Ho-Tep. He is Amenhotep. If you were to ask him his name, he would tell you.
Amenhotep.
Yes. That's all I'm getting at.
He stole Billy Jack Haynes' hat. That's why.
Yeah, the credits should maybe have listed him as
Amenhotep. Because it's literally the first.
Just to be accurate.
It's literally the first thing.
It's how you get introduced to him.
Yeah, it's literally the first bit of the movie here.
But the reason that seeing him reminded me that this is one of those movies we want to talk about the director for is because Bob Ivy is normally a stunts guy. He does stunts for a lot of things, and he specifically has done a lot of stunts for our director, Don. I hate that.
Oh man, I know.
Don Coscarelli. It's one of those.
We are so sorry.
Do you pronounce the S and the C?
I don't know.
Or is it a hard C?
Is it Sicilian or Italian?
I don't know. So again, guys, I'm trying my best. If you don't recognize his name, it might be because I'm butchering it.
It probably is.
But he is the director / writer / creator of the Phantasm franchise.
Nice. Love those.
And
Beastmaster.
And he started Beastmaster. He is not responsible for 2 and 3. They are just his characters.
They're all right.
I love 2. Shut up. Time travel to the 90s? Stop it.
All right.
Self-referential.
All right, yeah, I'll kind of give you that one. That one's fun, but the first one's great.
No, I'm not saying it's better than the first.
But the second one's like a completely different movie.
It's a fun ass movie.
It is though. I will. Agree.
Don't you say what you want? I rented that movie.
On it.
I probably rented that movie like 4 times in a row. Back in the days of 2-day rentals, you know what I'm saying?
We need to do Beastmaster month or something.
I
hit all 6 of them, even the really shitty, like straight to DVD ones.
I'll watch whatever, dude. I love
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm down.
You know what? There's a TV show.
I used to watch it all the time.
If we're going there,
yeah, let's do it.
Although I have been hinting that maybe we could do Great Kills as our first TV show, keeping our James Marandino stuff.
We do love Marandino. And that's I haven't watched it yet.
You need to.
I need to.
So maybe
you keep telling me good things. I'll wait till we do the episode. That way I can like give you.
You can be that. Yeah.
My initial reaction.
Well,
I'm gonna do that.
But yeah. So again, that's why we wanted to mention the director because you guys know us. We have said this several times. We're not usually. This is probably the 3rd episode in a row where we have mentioned the director, but we are normally not director people. Don't let this fool you. First one. James, friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Second one, Frank Oz. God damn it, it's Yoda. It's Miss Piggy.
And this one, Beastmaster. Phantasm.
Again, notice
we got so much good shit out of this guy. And motherfucking Bubba Ho-Tep.
It is what it is.
So he had to be mentioned. Sometimes we have to mention the director.
We gotta go there because again, we want you to go there
and go look at their other movies.
That's right. All right, so the rest of the people I'm gonna hit real quick because nobody else has
big roles.
The next person,
the nurse.
That's what I was gonna say. The next person I'll mention has some screen time, but she's still not important.
No,
right?
She's great.
Kind of a bitch.
She's a little bit of a bitch. She's great.
Actually, she's only a bitch for like
3 seconds.
She's like a bitch for like 3 seconds, but those 3 seconds stick with you for a long time.
Yeah, it does.
That's Ella Joyce. She again just plays
another one of those guys.
She's one of those guys. You've seen her for sure and things.
And all kinds of shit throughout the 90s and early 2000s. She was in all kinds of shit.
But she literally just plays the nurse. Mm-hmm. There's no other naming.
That's it.
The nurse.
That is no name.
But from her on, the people that I'm going to mention,
that one orderly, he's another one of those guys.
Well, it's not even the orderly. It's the funeral home.
Yeah, the funeral home.
He drives
when they're bringing him out in the hearse.
He drives the hearse.
Yeah,
that's who you're thinking of.
That guy. Yeah, he's one.
I knew exactly. I was like,
you knew who I was talking about.
Orderly. Yeah, I was like, there's no orderly.
I didn't know what to call him because they got the white button-up shirts.
So the only other people that I want to mention for sure is going to be probably him, and so that's Daniel Roebuck. He is one of those guys. Yeah, you've seen him in a lot of.
Once you see his face, you're like, oh, you've been in all kinds of shit.
He's a comedy gold.
Yeah,
right? Like,
he's been in all kinds of comedies.
He's been in sketch comedies too. Probably right.
he's been in like Adam Sandler movies and shit. I feel
he's
like
a funny guy for sure.
Love that
You'll
guy.
see him and
Those
you'll recognize
guys.
him. None of the rest of these people are big enough that I'm gonna mention.
But they're all great.
Don't come at me. I'm not trying to say anything about your career.
Yeah, we're gonna get tweets.
Well, this is a cheap movie. Again, like we started with that. Like again,
Yeah.
I mean, this was a low budget film, so that definitely means that he wasn't trying to pay a lot of people big money, and he already had.
I mean, Bruce Campbell got most of the money. Let's be
Ossie
honest.
Davis.
Yeah,
Even if you're going low standards, he's higher low.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like he's at the higher end of that pay spectrum.
yeah. He is.
So-
He's definitely the most tenured actor there. He's
Oh,
been doing
for
it since
sure.
like the 70s.
So again, like I mean, you say what you want. I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. You say. So
Yeah,
they might have
go
spent a
either
lot
way.
of the low budget on those two guys.
Those two guys and the costume for Bubba Ho-Tep.
Definitely. So before we get into the movie, you know, like we like to give you a couple of little facts like that.
Little factoids.
One of them that I'll tell
Trivia
you.
section.
Yeah, but not really because we mix most of it in later. But
Yeah.
just the things that maybe are the hardest to work in a conversation, we try to tell you before we get started because it's like I don't know if I'm going to find a way to randomly drop that
The
in.
really outlandish things.
One of which I'll drop right now.
Go for it.
Going to tie into that budget factor mainly is why I want to mention this one is for instance, this movie had such cheap budgeting. They literally filmed in an abandoned VA hospital. All the interiors of this old folks home.
Old folks home where they're in their room
was
in the
an
hallways and shit.
abandoned-
An abandoned VA hospital.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That's
Which
guerrilla.
explains it.
That's guerrilla filmmaking
Well, and like
right
think
there,
about
man.
think about the interior shots you see.
Right?
Like, we're talking like
All
wallpaper
the walls,
peeled
yeah,
off the
shit's
walls
falling
and
off the
stuff.
walls
That
and shit.
like think about it. They
Half
went
the
in.
lights don't
They
work.
went in and swept the floors, right? Like that's what they did.
That's it. That's all they did.
Do you think they hooked their own power up to it?
Oh, dude, they
like
had to.
generators?
Have. Yeah, I was gonna say they had to. Have.
Oh,
there's no way
God.
that place still had.
Well, then
was,
there's
like,
no way
hooked
they
up.
paid to have it hooked up if it wasn't.
Yeah, it saved them even more fucking money.
And they only used 3 wings. They didn't use the full place or something like that.
Oh yeah, you don't need that many. You just need like their room, hallway.
Yeah, you need a couple hallways, the
the
nurses,
nurses
desk.
station
Yeah.
and cafeteria.
Yeah, so you get the idea. This movie did not have a big budget.
I love figuring things out like that though.
On top of that, to go towards like the budgeting idea here, they had no real like publicity run for the movie, right? Like
Yeah,
no way to
'cause
do
that
that.
shit's expensive.
Yeah, that's where you can run.
That's where all
you
your
got,
money-
because you
yeah.
got to pay to put people places. You got to pay to have people come some.
You got to pay
places
for
sometimes.
TV spots.
You're doing a lot. Yeah.
You got to pay people to edit a trailer just so they can put it on
So much
TV
work.
that you had to pay for that spot.
So Bruce Campbell was already doing a tour for his autobiography.
Don't Call Me Ash. Good book.
He brought with him the reel. I don't know, the stuff I saw about it wasn't clear on if they meant like the full
The
movie
whole
reel
movie?
or if like an
As-
extended trailer reel.
Yeah, it's probably
a
like the-
15-minute. You know the time I'm talking. Like
Yeah.
what are they? A screener, right? That's what they call
yeah,
those.
that's probably what it was.
So I don't know what exactly they were trying to imply he had, but yeah, to
That's how
if
he-
you wanted him to be part of you wanted him to stop for your tour.
You got to
he was gonna
promo
get-
the movie.
Yeah, he was gonna get a promo for the movie in too. I don't know how much that affected anything because again in 2002, like I said, I was 17, 18, freshman in college. I definitely
had
wasn't
just
paying
started
attention.
high school.
I wasn't paying attention to stuff like
Right.
that yet
I
by
am.
any means. I just know that this was a obviously B-rated movie. I love B-rated movies, and it had Bruce Campbell in it. Maybe this is the time before we get started with the movie we mentioned. This is before the resurgence.
Oh,
of
yeah,
Bruce
this is
Campbell.
before, like,
before
he,
the
like-
revitalization of his career.
Yeah, before he was on like Burn Notice and all that shit.
This is before more movies. This is before
all the Spider-Man cameos and shit.
Yeah. This is
Because this would have been filmed in like
in 2001,
in 2000.
like 1990 something.
Yeah,
2000,
something like that.
Because again, indie movies don't release immediately. Sometimes.
So he's coming off of like Hercules, Xena.
Yes, no,
shit
he's
like
coming
that.
off of those two Jack
Jack of all trades. I love that show.
which was
I only got 2 seasons.
which was the Raimi vehicle for him. Like
Yeah.
right, like
No,
Xena.
he was the main character.
Yeah, well,
for
that's
that
what I mean.
one.
Like, it was for him. It was the vehicle for him. If you've not seen that one, I
That one's
recommend
good,
it.
too.
It's actually pretty funny.
It's like colonial times.
It
and he's-
is literally just his character from Hercules and Xena, but
he's Autolycus, but he's a pirate hunter or something.
dealing with Napoleon with Vern Troyer.
As Napoleon, which I found fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's
this
something
is-
else you can watch.
This is definitely, yes. This is one of those movies where it was a shock to find back
Mm-hmm.
in the day because this was just it was a surprise. Like,
Yeah, he's
you know,
usually like supporting character. Even in like Maniac Cop and stuff, he's like the second character.
He was definitely known for his B-rated stuff, and it was not usually as the star.
No, he's usually the background guy. This is one of the ones where he's like, this is my movie.
Minus obviously Evil Dead. I mean, again, we've not said those out loud yet. We've said Raimi.
Everybody knows those. We're talking about the other stuff you should check out.
You know, and again, that legacy of his, it definitely is showcased here. You can see it, right? Like,
he thought this was going to be the end.
Well, you will never beat Bruce Campbell and his prop work. Like having a cheap dummy prop in front of him and treating like it's the craziest, scariest monster or thing he's ever seen. No one does it like Bruce
You want to talk overacting. People want to bring out Shatner. Hell no.
No, but
Campbell.
But the difference here is Shatner is bad overacting. Like, you see it and you don't like it. Dude, I love when I see Bruce start.
Yes, when he starts fucking going for the fucking,
grabbing a puppet and throwing it in the air and stuff. I love that.
He's acting for the bleachers, man.
I love it, dude. I can't get enough of it. Hail to the king,
Hail to the king, baby.
I think at this, we officially can definitely get into the movie, right? Like, we've not...
We've put over our brother Bruce more than we need to.
We made sure everybody understands this is definitely a great movie. It's an early movie in his career. Well, not an early movie. It's an early movie in his resurgence. All right, so you guys know I love to start with the movie with how the music is. The music to this sets up exactly what this movie is for me, right? It's like a modern day 1920s monster movie, and that's exactly, you get the dun, 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 kind of like vibe. It's only for a little bit, because then we roll into
You're almost waiting for the old Universal logo to come across with the plane.
Kind of feel. It does. It feels like that. And then we do get black and white footage, which makes it worse. Really was like, oh, are we about to get...
For a second, I was like, oh shit, did I put the wrong thing on? Am I going to watch, The Mummy with Boris Karloff?
But then all of a sudden you're like,
oh no, there's German guy.
And again,
World War II documentary, right?
Right. Maybe that's bad of me. Maybe
that's the History Channel's fault for our generation.
I can't hear German, see black and white footage, and not think
World War II.
And you're like, at the end, I'm going to see Hitler and like downtown Berlin with the flags.
With the flags and the Reichstag and all that shit.
And I did. I'm very guilty of it. I heard it. I too heard it, then looked at the screen and was like, what?
Wait, no, we're still doing it's like the unearthing of King Tut's tomb.
It literally was.
Yeah.
You could...
It's like German documentary footage.
At the end of it, they're putting their own captioning, which means they are not...
It's probably not even the same what the guy's actually saying.
I would imagine.
Anybody from Germany that would be able to tell us.
But the captioning tells us, as we said, this is
Amenhotep.
Yeah. Or I don't know.
Amenhotep.
Amen. It's definitely not Amen.
Amunhotep?
No, because it's an E.
Is it an E?
I'm pretty sure I saw.
So it'd be Amenhotep.
Yeah.
My Egyptian is terrible.
We almost forgot, though. Before any of this started.
Oh, yeah, they did the definitions.
And I love this as an intro to a movie. Like Dogma did with the platypus. Gives you just the definition, right?
Yeah.
So we get a definition first of Hotep. What Hotep is. Hotep is any person
who is
from a certain era of the dynasty royalty. Yes.
Yeah. And we get the definition of Bubba.
We got three of them to make sure to really run home.
A resident of the southern United States.
I think we all know. Yeah, we don't. I don't.
Good old boy.
Bumpkin wasn't one of them. I'm just saying. I think we all understand though. Like we all get that. The vibe they go for.
Well, I mean, we're from Kentucky. We definitely know.
I know Bubba's.
I know Bubba's. Yeah. Hi, Bubba. I love you, man. You're great.
We didn't really need to go back for those, but we had already mentioned it once, and I do love that as an opening way to open a movie.
With just the definitions.
We'll fast forward past that, but like we said, afterwards, it is literally though they're just showing us the actual black and white footage of Tut's tomb, right? Because we even get the headdress,
the Tut mask. I mean, we know the iconic mask, right?
But they tell us it's Amenhotep, and that he's about to make his tour around the world. Cut to modern day.
Yep. Modern day, my ass.
They tell us. It literally says, right?
It says present day.
Well, it says modern day and whatever place in Mud Creek, Texas. Mud Creek, Texas, modern day. It doesn't say what year modern day is.
It's like 1985.
This movie came out in 2002.
Bullshit. Unless this fucking rest home is like 25 years behind everybody else.
The every piece of equipment in that place
is from the 80s or 70s.
We'll hit it when we see some of it because one of them in particular is vital to the scene.
Yeah.
So I don't want to talk about it yet. But just know that
Everything
I
looks
call bullshit. All right?
On 2002. Not one cell phone.
Not even that, dude. I
Like
would
the
say no
shitty
wireless
Nokia,
phone.
Right? Yeah, no wireless phone
Like,
either.
not
They
even
had
no
a
cell phone.
fucking rotary phone even.
That's what I would say.
Present day my ass 2002.
Right? So I don't know. Since it's like that, I can't give you guys an actual
date
idea of
on
when
what
it was.
it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it 86.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not only is it that it's modern day, that we are in Mud Creek, it even goes as far to let us know that's East Texas.
Yeah, East Texas.
It's not West Texas.
No. Fuck West Texas.
As soon as we finish with this present day Texas slideshow of
Opener
where they're
shot
at,
of the exterior.
First thing I'll say, they show us the exterior, then we start to see a little bit of the interior before we hear talking. And I will immediately point out that interior does not match that exterior.
That exterior is really small.
It is very small. This interior is like wings of a VA hospital.
Exactly.
Like
but
it
like
is.
no, we're supposed to buy it's a small brick building.
And the inside, again, they want you to believe is
It's bigger
wings.
on the inside. It's like the TARDIS.
But once we get inside, we zoom in to what looks like Elvis.
It does. He's got the mutton chops, the hair.
Now, since I don't want to influence anybody, like I said, for the rest of the duration of the movie, I will not refer to him as Elvis
Or Sebastian.
Sebastian.
He's the king.
He's the king, because you can be either one of those people and be the king. If you're the best impersonator,
You're the king.
then I am totally fine accepting that as your nickname
Yep, you are the king of impersonators
of the king.
of the king.
It totally makes sense.
So you're king.
Yeah, and so and if
too
you
many
are
kings
and if you
there.
are Elvis, you're the king.
You're definitely the fucking king.
So we'll go with he's the king. So we open in on the king.
Laying in
And
bed,
talking about his dick.
talking about his dick.
Instantly.
He had a dream. His dick was hard and he had that growth on it, but he popped it by jacking it off and
Thinking of his
thinking
wife.
of Priscilla. And it's like, fuck, man. Goddamn.
See him wake up and grab his glasses and
The
the beginning of the movie with this weird
super-
drugged up state.
Yeah,
before he starts to like
Get clear.
revitalize himself again.
where it's just like he's just laying there and everything's going in fast motion.
It's trippy.
It is trippy. Just
Yeah, dude. It looks like it belongs in a sci-fi show.
right. So like,
right?
from what I thought, like he's just laying there, eyes open, staring while the rest of the world is going on around him.
I think it's just the drugs. It is definitely a combination of
He's only catching things in glimpses and
well,
glances.
it's a combination of drugs and lethargy, right?
Yeah.
Just not caring.
I'm not moving for hours. So
Right.
this is our time lapse.
It's just to show us
I don't give a fuck.
the banality of
Yeah.
his life, where he's at, and
Just gonna
he's
lay
giving
here
up.
eating shit. That's all I'm gonna do.
Well, because we can immediately tell though this is Elvis, but this isn't where Elvis should be.
No, fuck no.
Well, I don't know about you.
How
Is
the
it-
fuck did Elvis end up in this piece of shit
Is
rest
this an
home?
alternate history? I don't recall Elvis being in an old folks home.
Nope.
Or excuse me, the king.
The king.
As soon as he's done lamenting his penis, though,
He goes on about it for a while.
He does. He gets interrupted by the coughing from his roommate.
Yeah, his
right?
roommate has just the god awfulest coughing fit, and then just stops, lays back down, totally fine for about 5 minutes.
But he is weird, dude. Bull is
Never
is-
says anything, just
he,
coughs.
Well, he coughs and scream
Yeah,
dish thing. I don't know, this weird sound
Yeah,
that's
it's-
in between the coughing.
Death rattle.
Death. That's what it is. Because he looks like already been bitten by a zombie, but not turned himself.
into, yeah,
right. He's got
'cause
that
he does
color
the
palette.
and he's like reaching out
Like,
for
right?
fucking the king.
Again,
right?
as we said earlier, this has that old school monster movie vibe.
It really does.
And this helps it.
It's like, is he dying of natural causes or is something fucking happening
Something
to
happened
him?
to him. And we can assume later on
That something happened to him. That was the first soul claimed, and that's why he was able to take like form, right?
Really?
I don't know. It's something because he couldn't see him before because he disappears through the door, so he can phase in and out of reality.
Well, I know that, but all I'm saying is he'd been there for 100 years.
That's fair.
I think this is just where our story picked up. Our story picked up at the end of his time
Yeah.
harassing this old folks home. So he's not the first victim. He's just the first we see that we're introduced to. The first in a long line. Or the last in a long line? He's not the first. He's the last in a long line. But he's not the last either. He's the middle of a long line.
Continuation of a long line.
Yeah. But either way,
Poor Bull dies.
But Bull is he's not yet. It's a slow rattle here.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Give it some credit, man.
Like it goes on for like
you say
a full
he dies
minute.
makes it feel like as soon as the scene started that he was like a bad cop. But no, he coughs. He stops for a minute.
Seems fine.
Literally, the king
voiceover.
talks to him for a second,
Yeah.
like across the room, and he doesn't answer him, and then he starts coughing again. Like it's not a quick.
No, it goes on for like 3 minutes.
He suffers.
He does, and then the final, he's like reaching out for the king, even like help me. And then he just bleh.
And again, like I said, he's got that I'm about to be a zombie color
right?
pallor about his face too.
Sunken eye.
Yes, exactly though. At this point, when he sees his dead roommate, his dying roommate, whichever it is, they're not real clear exactly yet if he's dead. We don't know until we see the hearse drivers,
hearse pull up.
Yeah, come to take the body out. But so until we actually see him dead, we just start hearing the king lament on life,
and
right?
shit.
Food, shit, and sex. Are these the only things, or is there more to life, baby? He can't handle his age, right? He starts talking about that. He's looking at the mirror. He's just like,
I'm old. How did fame?
How did I become
How
that?
did fame not keep away age and death? And I got a growth in my
He
pecker.
immediately goes back to I'm telling you guys right now.
He mentions it.
He mentions a
so
lot,
many times.
but the beginning of the movie, like again,
Is
like
constant.
we're 5 minutes in, but 2 minutes were the black and white footage, guys. So 3 minutes into actual story with the king, and he's mentioned his dick 4 times.
Right.
3 minutes.
He's very concerned about the growth on his
no
pecker.
one will tell him about it.
They
dude.
won't tell him.
Nobody will tell
They
him.
just keep ignoring it.
I guess I would be pretty worried too if I had a growth on it and
No
like
one
a
would tell-
doctor
yeah,
was
wouldn't even
looking
tell
at
me
it
what
and
it
doesn't
is.
tell me what's happening.
Like, no, come back here. What the fuck is that?
So this is when he starts to give his real death rattle, though. So like we said, we didn't know if Bull was dead yet or not. He seemed like he was dead the first time, but then like you said,
started
he
breathing.
rolled back out that one more.
Yeah. It's like,
Now
oh
we
shit,
know.
now he's dead. Fuck.
And now we see the hearse come in. He's got to get the body.
Orderly guy. He's like, man, wonder what this guy's
Poor old
story
guy.
was, you know?
Right?
And shit. And the other guy's like, shut the fuck up. Who cares?
He's like kind of sad for a second. Yeah. And his buddy's just like,
who gives a shit?
That's
Let's
not
get
our
outta here.
job, dude. Our job is to take the body.
Right. Fuck this old guy. Let's get out of here.
Then we get to see the craziest old lady, and I'm telling you right now, this is who I want to be. If I have to be in a nursing home, I want to be this lady.
Person.
She just causes havoc, dude.
She just goes around and she steals that poor bitch's glasses.
She steals the glasses.
She's in an iron lung, and she's just
Okay,
like,
so
I'm gonna take these.
That one is maybe a step too far.
That one's too far, but like
I would steal
stealing
candy.
and
I would
shit.
totally
I
just
would
be
too.
walking-
But I ain't gonna fuck with the bitch in the iron lung.
I'm not gonna do that. But I am 100% gonna be the person causing problems. The orderlies are gonna have to keep up with my ass.
they're gonna follow you around all the time.
That's what I'm getting.
I am the candy thief extraordinaire.
Yeah, the glasses.
Your grandkids better not
The
fucking
glasses,
send you
though,
cookies.
you're right. The glasses, you're right.
That was too
maybe-
far.
yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm gonna make you comfortable. Pulls them off. Acts
Yeah.
like she's gonna like clean them, and then just fucks off the poor lady. No, I felt so bad. I
It's
was
okay.
like,
She
no.
gets hers.
Fuck yeah, they did that so you wouldn't feel bad for her in a
Right?
minute.
She's our first victim again that we see.
Yeah.
Technically, we know that Bull is. We don't get confirmation.
But we didn't get to see it, though.
Well, and we never get confirmation either because
No.
we don't really see anybody else die way after like he did, right? And
Yeah.
like be fed on and then like
Then
what had to have
die.
been hours later die. So we don't know if he has. I would assume it had something to do with the fucking
would,
mummy.
too.
Bubba. Again, for lack of a better name. It's
Bubba.
not his name. It's easier than trying to figure out which way to say amen. Well, it's easier than figuring out which way is right.
I'm a number.
I know how to say Bubba.
Yeah, I can say Bubba.
I know I'm saying it correct. Nobody's
There's no
coming at
wrong
me.
way to say
Nobody's
Bubba.
coming at me and being like, "That ain't how you say Bubba."
You got to hold the A out at the end. It's Bubba.
It's pronounced Booba.
Booba?
You really gotta
Hey,
hit.
Booba.
You really gotta hit that U.
Gotta get that U in there.
Now is when we get to see our first victim though on screen, like our first confirmed and we know is a victim of Bubba. And it starts off real innocuous, right? She's just in bed,
eating candy.
She's eating her stolen candy,
her stolen candy. She's having a great time. Yes,
loving life.
Num, num, num.
And all of a sudden there's something wiggling under her blanket.
Yeah,
and she's
yeah.
like, "What?"
Big ass cockroach.
She yells.
I'll squishy you a cockroach.
But yeah,
She gets attacked. It's a giant fucking like scarab beetle.
yeah, well, and it takes you a minute before you even find out
Yeah, because she reaches under the blanket and stuff. She's like, I squish it. And then it's like, blood everywhere.
And see the head of it.
Right? It's got a head within a head. It's got like one head and then another head pops
Well, she squishes it.
Oh, yeah. She fucking smashes it with the cane.
And she thinks it's dead. And I want to say right now, the amount of liquid we see come out of this thing,
I think it's dead too.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care magical goddamn properties.
No.
If that much liquid comes out of a living thing, it is
gone.
no longer a living
all
thing.
Of its
right?
liquid.
Liquid equals life. Life liquid gone.
Life liquid gone. Caveman, no.
Yes, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's a very basic thing.
But yeah, she killed it, and I think pissed off Bubba Ho-Tep. Because he immediately appears as like...
I don't even know if she actually killed it.
But she tried to kill it. That's,
Yeah,
that's good enough.
Because
you hit my buddy.
Because that was my point about the whole liquid equals life, is that it should have been dead, and it wasn't.
No, because it comes back later.
Yeah, well, not only does it come back... were you paying attention in the scene?
Still moving.
Well, the mouth open happens after the squish.
Oh, yeah, it does,
the part that you were like crazy double mouth, that happens after. That was it pointing at the mummy. So it was definitely alive. It was like, it was telling her,
you fucked up.
Look up there.
I brought my boy.
He brought me here to distract you.
And eat that soul.
So again, I love that we don't get to see this yet.
Right.
And we'll go ahead and, of all the spoilers that we won't save, this is going to be the one that we won't. He's an ass-sucking zombie.
Yeah.
He
sucks
ass.
the soul out of your ass.
That's not me trying to be 90s hep. He'd suck ass. I mean, he literally
sucks it out of your ass.
Literally
puts his mouth on your ass
and
sucks your soul straight out of it. That has to hurt.
Yeah. And again, we don't know that yet. It
comes up later, but we're going to go ahead and tell you.
We're gonna go
That's what happened to this poor old lady. It definitely
helps because it helps you know how crazy it is. Because the very next thing we see is the king wake up, right? In one of his like weird stupors.
Fast stupor things where things
like,
speed up.
And he sees her
holding the door frame
at the bottom. Yeah. Barely sees her head. Because think about it, like your eyes don't naturally go to the bottom corner of a door. No. Right? So again, he's already in a drug stupor.
Like, what the fuck?
And so he's already like, am I seeing this thing down there?
Yep. No,
and she's like, help me. And then she gets pulled. And we know that there's a decent chance that pulling was literally with the mummy's face to her ass cheeks.
Just, oh, what a way to go.
Right? Like that scene hits different when you know about
that
the
ass sucking,
right? It hits like this was supposed to be like a weirdly sexual movie on top of, and not just because we hear dick and we got an ass sucker. I mean, like in an actual, like those are just funny, like college
raunchy,
kid movie,
college movie,
college humor right there, right?
The dirtier the better, man.
But the fact, if you think back on what that scene was, it gets.
That's pretty fucked up.
Poor old lady.
Poor old lady. You don't deserve.
She was a bitch. But she
was, but she didn't deserve that.
No one deserves to go out
that way.
Soul out the ass.
Suck your soul out your ass.
But since another person died,
we get our orderlies again. I don't know why I keep calling them orderlies.
Yeah,
morticians.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
They're really just the hearse driver. I don't even know if they're supposed to be like the actual morticians.
Funeral home
they just work there. Yeah, orderlies would be the other people we see inside. The only thing that I'll mention that we got to see before we deal with our orderlies again, and you've already addressed this, his hat, dude. Bubba's hat. Again, we don't really get to see the look of it yet. We don't see colors or anything. It's all silhouette, right?
Right, but the feather.
Well, it's that you see the feather and you see it's the round cowboy hat. You guys know it, like okay. I don't even need to say that anymore. You know what I'm talking about. I mentioned
Billy Jack Haynes.
Yes,
because I'm a wrestling fan, but there is actually movies about a cowboy character bounty hunter called Billy Jack. And he wears that hat. That's where the wrestler got the gimmick. He ripped it off entirely.
And it's so funny that that's the hat choice they went.
I laughed my ass off when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. Billy Jack wants his fucking hat back.
All right, now we'll deal with our workers. I just had to point out, that's the first time we see it, and it is jarring.
Right.
Everything so far has led up old school.
Snakeskin boots, Billy Jack hat.
It's been old school monster movie vibes. Until all of a sudden you're like, holy shit.
Oh my God, what is that outfit?
Holy shit, what am I dealing with?
Like torn biker jacket with flames and shit. Right. It's fucked up. He's a weird collection of outfit.
This time when our funeral workers, whatever we want to call them, when they show up, this time it's so much funnier because the second guy immediately starts bagging on the first guy again, right? Like, he doesn't even give him a chance.
Whining and crying again on me this time? He's like, no.
Toughen it up. He was like, no, I was just going to tell you, this one stinks a lot. Use the deodorizer.
You should spray the deodorant.
And the dude goes,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she does
right.
pretty right.
I was like,
yeah, shut the fuck up, asshole. He immediately jumped on the guy. And what he said before wasn't that bad. He was just like, oh, well,
he wasn't being a sad sap. He was just saying, he was just like inquisitive.
Right?
He was like, hey, we never know.
And we're going to learn here in a minute exactly what Bull's fucking backstory was.
Exactly. Thank you. Because Bull is
a fucking hero.
Damn straight. So yeah, this time this movie does this a lot. When there's no other good way to get to the next scene we need,
we have this weird
it's just time for
lapse.
And it's just time for the king to wake up.
Yeah.
Right?
Wake up from my drugs.
Well, it's wake up in the morning, it's wake up from a nap, it's wake up.
Yeah, wake up.
There are a lot of wake up scenes of the king.
Yeah.
But so this time he wakes up still in a very drugged up stupor. He's kind of trying to figure out what's going on. Sees some hot chick in his room and he's like, "Whoa, what the hell is happening?"
What is
this? Then she's rummaging through Bull's stuff.
And she goes to throw away the man's fucking purple heart, all his fucking military shit.
And then that's when he fully wakes up.
Yeah, he's like,
out of the stupor.
Whoa. You gonna throw that shit away?
I'd like his purple heart. He was kind of attached to that thing.
Yeah,
that's how he said
kind
it.
Of attached to that thing. I would be too.
He liked it a little bit. That and the chocolates. I love this old folks told me it's all about getting that candy.
Goddamn candy.
Sweet.
Gotta have that candy.
And she was just like, sure, man, take them. What do I care?
Whatever, I don't give a shit.
We get another like waxing on life, right?
Yeah, he guilt trips her for like not coming and visiting.
Well, he doesn't
Bull
even start off with the guilt trip though. He just starts off with being like, I know who you are.
Oh, you're Callie. He talked about
you a lot. I don't know. Then it starts to get into the guilt trip. He's like, I don't know if I've ever seen you here though.
But she ain't been here since she checked him in like 3 fucking years ago.
Says. But then again, he starts to lay the guilt trip on hard again, and she just turns around. I'm not gonna say she's right in this because ultimately
everybody's kind of right.
Well, ultimately, the end conversation he hits her with the hardest truth, right?
Yeah.
But she comes back with a very valid point, right? She did not have the money for him to be in this shithole.
Yeah.
Like she didn't have that
for
money.
Medicare, he wouldn't have even been here.
He'd have been dead already.
Yeah, he'd have been
and
in
so
a
again,
ditch.
she was like, I didn't have the money to take care of him. I couldn't take care of him. He couldn't live in my house. I don't know what you expected. And now this is when he hits her with the realest of real, right?
You still could have come visit him.
Doesn't cost anything.
They don't charge you for that. Ooh. Also very true.
Very true.
On the other side, you don't fucking know. He might have been a shit dad.
I know. Again,
I get he's like a war hero and stuff.
Which again, especially for the era, like we said, that means he was most likely WW2 Korea, right? So we're talking shell shock.
I'm going to say Korea.
So we're talking shell shock.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably some kind of serious post-traumatic stress.
So
yeah, so I mean,
there's a very large chance
there
that he might be a bad dad, guys.
There's a very good chance. So don't judge anybody on this particular scene. Everybody's kind of right. Everybody's a little wrong.
Everybody's an asshole here, to steal it from Reddit.
We're all assholes.
But so yeah, he tries to make her feel bad. It does not work though. No. Even the last one when he hits her with she was just kind of she looked at him for a second and then just kind of rolled her eyes back to what she was doing.
What the fuck ever.
And at this point, she starts to flash him. Or did that already happen?
That already happened. She bent over to give him the purple heart.
I think maybe that's when
he had a flutter in his dick.
Well, I think that might be why he really almost didn't though. He said, "I think I did."
I felt like a pigeon fluttering for a second and then laid limp.
Yeah, he said, "Because who am I kidding? I had an erection in 20 years or something."
It's been 2 presidents since I've had an erection.
A long fucking time, guys. But he makes the point of how crazy it is, right? That this bitch doesn't care. She wasn't flashing him to flash him.
No, she's like, he's so not a threat.
She just so did not care about him that she wasn't even aware that it was a thing. Yeah. And that even if it was a thing and she was aware, she didn't care.
It's like a cat sneaking a peek. She didn't give a shit.
Yeah. think about that. I'm not telling you this is Elvis, but if this is Elvis, like what kind of blow is that?
Yeah,
the king here,
huge blow to his ego.
Regardless of what you want to think about this guy, as we're about to find out right now, regardless if you think he's Elvis or not, the king definitely believes he is Elvis. And that's the next. I'm not ruining anything. That is literally the next, what I'd say 15 minutes.
Yeah,
in the movie.
dude, like the nurse comes in and is like, Mr. Half.
It's the nurse.
Like, my name is Elvis.
It's the nurse, and then it goes into the flashback, and then it goes into the dream, all connected
into one of like
this
how
story.
He ended up where he is.
And so since you guys now know that's what it is, we won't worry about the details of how it goes. We'll just tell you what he finds out. She's there. She makes fun of him, the nurse. We got to at least start with that.
She starts like he think he Elvis, but he was just an impersonator.
Just so that way Callie there, Bull's daughter, can hear and also kind of make fun of him. Because again, the whole point here is the degradation.
Yeah,
right?
they're
like
laughing at him.
Is to prove how little they think of him.
Yeah, you're just a crazy old man who thinks he's Elvis.
Right. But then so he starts to get into it. He's like, well, she's right. She's right about half of it at least.
I was
Sebastian half is definitely true.
I was Elvis, but I went and I found the greatest Elvis impersonator, Sebastian Half, and I traded motherfucking places with him.
We see him in the flashback.
Whole scene. He drives up in the Cadillac with his fucking crew.
With the crew. Yes, dude. It's so great. It to an old, like a, not even like a state fair.
County
it's like
fair.
a town
Yeah, it's like a town fair. Some
tiny
small
little
ass venue.
It was like a farm fair,
They
right?
gave him a pie as payment. The dude's in the back just eating a blueberry pie. Like, oh, shit, yeah, this is what I got paid in.
I didn't even know if that was supposed to be payment. I just thought the implication there was that
You got a complimentary pie.
Well, no, I just thought it was that Sebastian Half was the fat Elvis. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the fat Elvis who just ate pie and shit.
Yeah, well, because we never see if this story is true. I'm not trying to tell people what they need to believe.
When Elvis, the real Elvis, walks in,
if this story is true by flashback,
still in pretty good shape.
If this is true by flashback, our Elvis only got fat because of, as we're about to find out, being bedridden in a coma.
Yeah.
Real Elvis, real quote unquote, the person that was on TV as Elvis,
confusing.
Sebastian was the fat guy. And I think that's why we saw him
just
devouring
killing
the pie.
an entire pie.
It was to let us know that, again, right now.
That's why Elvis got fat those last 2 years.
Well, because think about it. Right now, he's a guy who has to earn that paycheck, right? So he's not going to gain the pounds. Once he is Elvis, and it doesn't matter, and he can do whatever he wants.
Got discovered peanut butter and banana fucking sandwiches.
That is exactly my point. That is not Elvis. That is Sebastian. Sebastian is our deep fried peanut butter and banana. I'm glad you got where I was going.
I like that.
That's literally where I was. That my notes ended with that.
Yeah.
That
so
thought.
Sebastian ended up dying on the toilet in Graceland, and
because he liked drugs.
He liked drugs.
They both liked drugs,
but more than our Elvis.
Well, our Elvis was giving him up. That was part of why.
That was why he was leaving. Yeah. He's like, I don't want to do this.
He
shit
was ready to leave it. He didn't think he could. He didn't think he could leave the temptation without being away from the temptation.
Yeah, you ain't got the money to buy him. It makes it a lot harder.
He left himself exactly enough money for emergencies in this life as Sebastian, right? That's what he told us. He says, I gave myself a small fund.
And a contract said if we wanted to switch back, we could. Anytime I wanted.
Perfect deal. He was good with all of it.
Solid and set.
Until
the barbecue accident.
Where the trailer park. Not trailer.
Park, the whole
trailer park blew up. Because apparently Elvis been rich too long. And he forgot how lighter fluid works.
Just knocks a whole bottle of it over on the grill, and the whole fucking thing goes up.
I mean, and again, like, for that thing to have enough lighter fluid to cause a problem, right? It had to have been full enough. He felt it.
Yeah, it was a full fucking bottle.
For it to be light enough that he wouldn't have felt it when he knocked it.
He didn't care. Somebody else will pick that up, says the king.
That's what I'm saying. Elvis been a rich man too long.
He's always had that dude that follows around behind him, just cleaning up his shit.
He wasn't ready for that Sebastian life yet.
wasn't ready. But the contract...
This got him ready, though. Yeah. This made him ready.
Yeah, the contract got destroyed in the fire, and now he has no choice.
He has no way to prove it now. Now he just looks like the madman.
Yeah.
Now he looks like Sebastian the kook.
But he doesn't really mind at first.
No, he said
it was like the old days. They're just going around doing the show. Well, in all
fairness, he technically never minded while Sebastian was alive, if that's the switcheroo that happened.
Yeah.
Right? Because as we find out, he ends up in a coma.
Yep. Breaks his hip, falls off stage, winds up in a coma, and wakes up with some problems.
Several years later, including a penis that has a bump on it. Nobody's talking to him about. And the fact that Sebastian died on the toilet. So there's no switching back.
Yeah, there's no switching back at this point.
How do you switch back with a dead man?
Nobody's going to fucking believe you.
So like we said, that was a lot of different scenes all combined.
Yeah.
But so the main thing that I'll tell you that it was even any way important is that at some point during that, flashback. He stops, and the nurse and Callie,
blonde girl,
walk off, and they degrade him. They're degrading him some more. And then he even tries to cuss them. Yeah. Right? And we get I love this little line from him where he's like, it's the problem about getting old is that you can't even cuss somebody properly because everything you say is either too stupid for them to listen to or so humorous that they're not actually listening to the point of what you're saying, right? Because you're just the dumb, silly old man.
Can't even motherfuck somebody without it meaning something when you're old.
And so again, it's not a great one, but I loved it.
It makes you feel like it's like, man, I get it.
It makes you respect the point of view that the king has, right? Like, and again, it lets you. It's a window into that degradation that they're putting on him, right? They're just like, you're just a silly old man
who thinks he's
even
Elvis.
If it's not true.
Why you gotta treat him?
You don't gotta treat him like that. No, he is essentially one step away from bedridden. This is goddamn Grandpa Joe.
From fucking Willy Wonka, man. Sing the damn song. Get him up. Let's go.
Like let's
a little encouragement.
Let's give him a golden ticket so he can go over the moon in ecstasy.
Exactly. Go watch that episode.
We don't need to crush his spirit. That's my. But so, like we said, though, it ends with a dream sequence. Like, that's the last part of it. Because he woke up at one point. They left. Well, I guess we do need to mention one thing. This whole thing was very weird and drawn out. In the middle, after the nurse left with Callie and they degraded him and made him feel like garbage for being an old man, that's when he introduces us to Jack.
Yeah, he's like, this guy believes me, but he also thinks he's JFK, so
he's a black man. And he literally tells him, he goes,
JFK was white.
Jack, I don't know if you know this.
It's how good they are. They dyed me black and left me here. I got sand in the back of my head.
But so then after our real quick introduction to again,
Jack.
I will call him Jack, just like I will refer to the king
as king
to not mess with your interpretation. He is Jack, because Jack can be either. Jack is a nickname.
Yeah.
It could be his real name.
It really could. We don't know. Telling. We don't get clarification on
after we get that introduction to Jack, though, is when we then get the dream. But the dream is just the end of that
story where he falls off the
stage. It's the part where he actually falls
Yeah.
off. But literally, if you're not paying, if you look away from the screen too long, you'll get confused, because even in the dream, it is him telling the nurse.
Yeah, it's narrated again, like the same exact thing. It's just cut with the, Jack believes me.
Yeah, but we even see, like, the nurse and Callie standing there.
Back like, Mr. Presley. Mm-hmm.
The only difference is that they believe him, right? Because it's a dream. You see him kind of like he's telling an audience that cares in his dream.
In my dream, they gave a fuck.
Right? That's exactly what it was.
After the dream, he wakes up and he's all fucking cold and shit. And this is where we
cold sweat, dude. He's like,
and he's like, he pulls up the bedpan. He's like, no, fuck that.
I'm better than that.
I can do it today, and we're gonna make it.
Fuck those women, and they're laughing at me.
Yeah, for real. He's got a little bit of fire. He's like, I will piss in the toilet. I'm not getting no shit or piss in the bed.
And he does.
Yeah,
kudos.
He fucking makes it. Turned on that ancient goddamn heater, though, before he went. Did you see that fucking thing?
This is one of those points I was making earlier. This is the one I didn't want to mention until right now. If we're going to talk about things in this building that definitely clearly tell me that this is not 2002.
Right.
This heater is one. Because this thing has been outlawed since 1975.
Right. It's
Look at
got
this
like
goddamn
active
thing.
heating elements on it. Like,
not safe.
That is dangerous.
That
as
is
fuck.
That is not just a fire. That is an explosion.
It's like a toaster, dude. It's got the
it is literally a toaster.
Coils.
That's why I said I was
cook on this thing.
You don't need a light in your room.
Right.
The orange glow that was coming off it, like literally from the filming of it. The orange glow was brighter than whatever lighting they were using for the not the light bulb, whatever lighting they were using for the set. Because you could the whole set was
orange fucking glow of hot metal.
Yeah. Like, I can't believe they even wanted to have it plugged in for the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, geez.
Somebody's gonna fucking die. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
It's radioactive.
Unplug that thing immediately.
But no, we leave that thing on, but then we get the scuttling.
We hear Scuttle. He successfully pees.
He does pee.
Triumphant.
For real. He made it.
Look, nobody in the movie gives the man credit when he deserves it, and I will give this man credit when he deserves it.
Because
he made it.
He did, because up to this point, we're supposed to think he just was pissing in that bedpan.
Well, like I said, he's Grandpa Joe.
Yeah. And he said, fuck it, I'm getting up. gets his little walker and shuffles his ass and has a good pee.
But then he, like you said, he hears the scuttle.
Immediately gets
then
attacked.
after the scuttle, well, not attacked. First he hears the scuttle. Then he hears a thud. His chocolates. God damn it, his chocolates.
Not the candy.
It's these old people. And
You
their
can't
candy.
fuck with an old man's candy.
He sees that.
Sweet is the only thing they can
He
taste.
sees the chocolates are flipped over, and he's like, "Well, what?
The fuck?
What's going on here?"
Flips over the tin. There's that giant goddamn scarab beetle again.
He's gets into a fight. Like I said, though,
An epic fight.
this
dude.
is the part where, like I said, I don't care what anybody says. Bruce Campbell knows how to act with a prop, right?
When he reaches back, he looks for the fork, and he reaches back to grab it and pulls up the fucking spoon. And he's just like, oh.
This is a scene that will give you Evil Dead vibes.
Yeah, you're gonna laugh your ass off.
You're gonna feel the Ash come through,
When
even though he's
fighting the
even though
mini
he's wrote
Ashes.
a book about how he's bigger than Ash.
Yeah.
This is a scene where you're
exactly
gonna be
what
like,
he's doing.
"This is Ash." Because it feels it. You get the moment where the scarab like tries to run off, and they even do like the Evil Dead style like long shot where he's like reaching down the room at it. I was like, that's just a hand. He's just reaching for a disembodied hand right now.
Right.
I know this scene. I've seen it in
seen
two
it.
movies.
Yeah.
Because the 1 and 2 are the same.
They're
exactly
the same movie.
I'll get back onto this.
We'll do Evil Dead later.
We get the bedpan. It hides
I
in
love the
bedpan.
bedpan.
We got
He catches it and like puts it up against the wall, and then
He's like, it's gone.
Where'd it
he
go?
Because he pulls the bedpan
pulls
off
it away from the wall, and it's like, where the fuck?
Even does the perfect to us gag, right? Like
Yes.
he turns, still looking,
showing the camera.
but we see it
We
perfectly.
see it and shit.
Oh, I love that. I love that kind of gag. That's great.
That is an Autolycus gag from Hercules and Xena. Like I've seen that on that show so many times.
You think the dude is friends with Raimi? They were both making horror movies at the same time.
You think so? Probably.
They have to be.
He had to have been. He had to like.
He's the one that told. He was like, dude, my buddy Bruce will do this.
Yeah, he will.
Because I'm telling you right now, this feels very like. I mean,
It does. It feels like a Sam Raimi movie, but it's not.
And Phantasm is not nearly as funny. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
it's
we're
good.
gonna, I love Phantasm.
It's great.
I love Beastmaster. Neither one of them are big on the
Camp,
right.
though.
This
They-
movie is camp
Campy.
heavy.
Yeah, it's great.
good.
But finally, he kills it. He gets it with the.
He really
fork.
kills it. He
Never.
no fake,
But never.
no fake
Fuck
smashing.
with the king.
No fake smashing and juice
No, he stabs it with a fucking fork and then jams it in that archaic fucking heater
until it blows. I mean, fire
Yeah.
and flame, and
he even gets electrocuted.
Yes.
He's like,
But he was fine with it. Did you see him?
Yeah.
As soon as he let go, he was just like,
Yeah, good. I got a little bit of
Amped it
energy
up.
back, right?
bring me back to my younger days.
Right? Put a little lead in it. But then he goes looking for
He-
somebody to tell.
He steps out of the hall. He just steps out, right?
He got bugs.
We got a big ass bug problem.
Big ass bitch bug problem. Hello.
I just love that. That's what he said. No one. What is this place?
There's nobody work at night in this fucking place.
There's got to at least be
a night
one
guard,
nurse
something,
on staff
something.
and one orderly on staff,
something.
right?
Nope,
and,
nobody.
And we see from later scenes that his room is definitely not supposed to be far from that nurse's station.
No, it's just like down the hall.
So what? What is
They're
going on?
actively ignoring him.
But so he's just still looking for someone that can help him, and he walks past Jack's room and he sees.
Jack's on the floor and
He's
shit,
worried,
man. Yeah,
dude.
he's like, dude, are you okay?
Well, and when he
rolls
first
it-
walks into the room too, like we get to see how insane Jack is, right?
Oh, it's full of JFK shit.
Because again, well, and this is the part where I would say I'm not trying to tell you he is or he isn't, but if I were to tell you reasons why maybe he's not,
Might be this.
I don't think that the real JFK would surround himself in a room full of this stuff.
No, pictures of Jack Ruby and
The pictures of the convincing yourself you are dead.
Yeah,
or
died.
you should have been dead.
There's literally pictures of the fucking shot.
You know, like these aren't pictures
with the car.
Well, you like the king.
Lee Harvey Oswald, everybody on the walls.
You know, the king tells us stories about missing his wife and this and Lisa Marie and
Yeah.
and this man is fixated with the death of Kennedy only.
Yep.
You know, like there's no Jackie Onassis.
He's even convinced that they're still after him. He's like LBJ, maybe
Yeah.
Castro. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like there was no Jack Jr. or
No,
Jackie
nothing.
or Jackie Onassis up on that wall.
It's all just like the.
It was all just the people that supposedly killed him.
death.
And the diorama,
Yeah, I liked that one. The little diorama,
actual
of the
street?
shit with the street.
Back to the Future style. But then
Do you think he made that? I like. To
Oh,
think
definitely. There's no way he did. I mean, who
yeah.
else did it? Who else was doing that? That wasn't pre-built.
As a nice gift from the lady
No.
who says that she's
No,
his
that-
niece.
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 Air
quote,
quotes,
unquote, air
guys.
quotes.
Yeah, so he quickly realizes, though, that Jack is not dead on the floor.
Yeah.
He hears him groan. He hears the, he's like, oh, flip you over.
Yeah,
I thought you were gone.
You're on the floor, man. He's like, no shit.
I know. I love his reactions to this. And right now, we see that maybe for a split second, the real Jack, again, I'm not telling you who is and who he isn't.
Not what we're here for.
But if he is not actually
it?
the president, then maybe the person talking right now was the real
regular
him.
Jack.
Because before he really gets his composure together and says the Lyndon B. Johnson stuff, he kind of seems more
coherent
and less crazy talk, right?
Yeah.
He asks, he's like, who are you? Right?
Yeah.
And even the king noticed, right? Because normally he wouldn't have thought twice about telling this guy that he knows I'm Elvis. Because he believes him.
Yeah, he does. Like we made that point earlier.
But he instantly talks to him and says,
it's Sebastian.
Meaning that he even can tell
that guy,
I'm talking to the other one.
The other guy.
I'm not,
schizophrenia has dropped for a second.
I'm not talking to Jack. I'm talking
to Jack,
real,
not Mr. President.
Right? Like and I love the subtlety in how those conversations happen.
Right? Because
Like,
it leaves you with the like, is it? Is it
who
not?
is who? Is
what's going on?
What is what? Why is why? How is how? Sorry, I had to finish it up. So we get a couple more of these statements from Jack on the floor, though. Like
I love the
even once he says the assassin stuff, and then he gets right back to like snotty asshole bit again.
Right?
He just kind of snaps at him, like, "Yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah,
what the fuck is your problem,
what the fuck
man?
Is your goddamn
you
problem?
came into my room.
Why are you here?" But then like,
and he starts telling him about he tells him about the bug
and shit.
And then he's like, "What?"
And then it just cuts to like the authority people in there, the administrator guy talking to him and shit. He's like, I don't know, man. There's bugs every fucking where. I'm not an ichthyologist. Pull a big ass word out. It's a study of bugs, in case you were wondering. But he's like, I'm not an ichthyologist. What the hell do I care? I got a growth on my pecker.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
That's the end of the scene. He's like, I got a growth on my dick.
Like I said, the hospital staff were just patronizing him, though. Like, right? Like, he's being very honest about everything that happened. Right. His room has to have evidence of a blown up.
Yeah.
Even if the bug is gone. Even if the magical bug left, there's evidence of something happened.
And that blown out fucking heater is definitely a concern we need to deal with before it catches the rest of the building on fire.
We don't get anything. These people are just like,
oh, silly old man, just go to bed.
Just like he told us before, right?
Yeah,
like you can't do anything as an old man.
Patronizing assholes.
Sons of bitches.
But then we get my favorite fucking.
It's the size of my fist. What do I care? That's what. Remember that? I love that. He's like, how big was that bug? It's that's where the pecker line came from. It was the end of the fist. I love that. He's like, it was the size of my fist, but what do I fucking care? I got a
growth on my pecker.
Oh my god!
But then we go to my. He's like in his room.
Dude, this was
and the nurse.
This was
with
crazy.
The cream.
This was crazy. Earlier, we heard the nurse mention when she walked out the door with Callie. Well, and the way she said it
definitely implied this has something to do with his dick.
Well, it definitely implied that it had to do with dehumanizing him even more than she already had.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, if it's a man, we can assume what that means. It's going to be something along the lines of prostate or dick stuff.
Yeah.
Because as an old man who can't control those things, those are going to be the most humiliating to you. Either someone's putting fingers up your butt, or they're touching your ball and dick that doesn't work right.
Yeah.
Either way, not comfortable.
Not fun.
Poor dude.
But something happens.
Things are different this time.
Things
are different today. And I want to point out, not only are they different, so we've already seen the reawakening of the king, right?
Yeah.
Like it started the day before with his inquisitiveness.
Yeah, where he was starting to actually use his brain.
And we're seeing, right? I would say
he got his blood up with the fight.
I would say yesterday, the previous day in the morning was the last time we saw the weird flashy walk.
Yeah, we don't really see that again.
It is basically gone the rest of the movie. He is now him
fully cognizant.
He is no longer hiding in this
stupor
that he had been in for years, right? Which might have something to do with this.
Why his dick suddenly works.
He's getting his mojo back,
yeah,
man.
Baby.
His mojo
Give
is
me that
coming
mojo.
back. But yeah, so the nurse is just doing what
she's rubbing that cream on it, right? It'll get rid of the infection.
As he's told us, he doesn't have erections.
Yeah.
So we know that she's done this a lot, and there's never been any kind of.
Yeah, he even says like a chick like this rubbing on me 20 years ago. Even 20 years ago, I'd have gave her the lip curl, and she'd have been eating out of my asshole.
Well, again, that's just to prove how hard it is for him to know that no one cares.
Yeah.
Just like the panty thing earlier, right? That's driving home that idea. But the fact that his dick works at all is magic.
She gets shot, and she's like, "You old rascal."
She was like, "Holy Jesus!"
Well, you need to go take you a cold shower.
It's been so long since it worked.
He was shocked. He didn't even notice.
He didn't notice. She said something,
and he's
"What?" Still like, "What?" And she goes, she points down, and he goes,
"Oh."
You're right. Not only did he get his mojo back, as in like he himself, right? Like we said, he's becoming himself again.
He learned how to flirt again.
No. This is his mojo.
Yeah.
Don't you watch enough things? When you've got your mojo, it affects other people.
I don't have mojo, so I wouldn't
You've
know.
seen this. Austin Powers.
Yeah,
you know what
true.
I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
His mojo affects other people.
Yeah.
And so now that his mojo is back, it works.
Yeah, it does.
She is definitely into him.
Yep.
She can say what she wants. She acts like she's not. She acts like he needs to quit. She is into it.
She is sly smiling him the whole time. Like, you dirty old
because it starts off, he just makes a couple of, not even overtly sexual.
You need to go take a cold shower. I'll go.
Well, he waits a bit. No, she says that, and then he waits a bit, right? Like, I mean, we get a whole little bit before he immediately says it. Then all of a sudden, he just brings it back up. Well, I guess I could do that shower if you're going to come with me. And it just keeps going from there.
Go ahead.
Building and
pull
going.
On it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And she that sly little look she gave him then.
You stop it.
You need to stop with that.
Right.
You need to take that somewhere else.
You thought about it, you dirty old bitch.
Yeah, she did. She says whatever she wants. He had a real shot, dude. He had a real shot.
Because he is still the king, baby.
Now we at dinner table?
Dinner table, we meet Kimosabi.
I love Kimosabi.
Kimosabi's the best.
Kimosabi, for people who don't get this reference, because again, this is an antiquated reference.
Right.
So Kimosabi is what Tonto called the Lone Ranger. It is not a real translation of any kind of thing.
No.
This is racist 50s stuff, guys. This is how racist it was. According to them, it literally in show was just, that's Indian for, not a specific tribe.
Just Indian. Just
because they all speak one.
We'll just throw them all together
that's
in
Indian
one group.
For. So again, we're not trying to deal with that. But Kimosabi, great throwback reference.
It was. For
if
the
you
old
don't
Lone Ranger.
know the word itself, you can definitely look at him, and if you've ever seen the Lone Ranger, know that's what's going on here. He's got the white. He's got the white hat.
Got the two pearl-handled guns. Cap guns, but they're still guns.
But they're guns.
Yeah.
So you can tell.
He's going on about they're gonna ambush us. I saw him down by at the bridge.
Yeah. Well, and so at first you think
he's just nuts.
Well, at first you think
or like he's been watching the Lone Ranger.
It's an episode of the Lone Ranger.
There are a lot of episodes where they get ambushed and shit.
So yeah, at first you think all of this talk is to do with the Lone Ranger. Like that's where his psychosis comes from.
Yeah. Later we find out a little different.
Well, we find out right that it's definitely more like childhood trauma triggered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, it is definitely not at all what it seems and what they want you to think. Right now when you see him.
You're supposed to think he's a crazy old Lone Ranger
Well,
fan.
you're just supposed to think, like I said, when I was reserving my rights to say who the craziest person in the crazy house was, whether it's our two people who think there's someone else, this is the third one up for the running.
This is our option 3.
Because at least both of these guys believe they're real people.
He thinks
believes
he's a
fictional
character.
person.
Yeah. Mask and all.
So
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him. He gets the crown.
But at the dinner table, we don't really get anything else. It is basically just to let us know that Kimosabi is another guy
him and the king used to be friends and played cards together, but they don't recognize him anymore.
Yeah,
that's like
he's so far gone.
That likes the whole scene.
He's so far gone. Now we get another, like I said, lots of the king waking up in this movie. Now we get another scene of the king waking up.
Yeah,
this time it's Jack, though. It's Jack waking him up.
Jack wakes him up and being like, hey,
so it's a little,
you hear it?
Yeah. So it's a little bit different than the other times because every other time up until now it's been that dazed. Yeah. So this time we're at least getting a real just like.
Is this the one where he has like the weird hallucination of his daughter for a second, and then it's Jack pops in?
Maybe.
I think so.
I can't remember.
But then Jack comes in and he's like, you hear it, and they have the weird.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't pay attention to a lot of those because they're so random, and until you get to the end with Bubba, none of that makes sense. Right. Because once you get to the part with Bubba, you're like, oh, maybe it's just you realize it's like a residual thing that's happening because he's doing stuff.
Projecting things.
So I don't know. I didn't pay attention to a lot of like what they're showing. But you're right. I think you're right though, because I think this is as he's waking up while he's trying to wake him up, he's giving us the reflection on Lisa Marie. I'm wondering if she
would even give a shit. or would come visit him or any of that. But yeah, then Jack wakes him up and it's like, you hear it, right? It's here.
He's like, what?
And he's like, the thing
LBJ sent after me.
Right, the assassins that came after me and shit. You know who they are, because he's all into the conspiracy
what's
shit.
crazy is he says that at first, right? Like, he says that to him, but then he takes him to the bathroom.
And then it shows him the hieroglyphs.
And addresses that he knows they're hieroglyphs. Why would you imagine an assassin by LBJ
just carves Egyptian hieroglyphs into the bathroom walls?
It's a weird assumption.
LBJ hired Egyptian nationalists to kill him.
We got to address how crazy this man is, because this is the first time. Remember, he tells him LBJ assassins came after him, and literally, like, even when faced with the hard facts, he couldn't accept it, because the king tells him, he's dead.
That wouldn't stop him. That was funny. You think that's going to stop him?
Wouldn't stop a man like
death. That is not going to hold LBJ back, because he's a hard ass.
This is where things start to get really, really, like, hard to believe.
Like, because
he finds hieroglyphs, and he's like,
Jack just translates them.
He says, I looked it up in my books.
So you just have those. Just.
He has books on hieroglyphs.
Yeah, just how to translate them. Got the whole Rosetta Stone manual thing just there.
It's not even just that he has the books, right? It's that he's had the books. He found these. We're supposed to assume he found these that night.
Yeah.
Found them, went back to his room
in like 10
found
minutes.
the translation,
like 10 minutes.
Then woke up the king,
yeah.
And then went back in.
JFK is an amazing man, dude. He can do it all. We really lost out when he died.
I guess so. But so he proceeds to tell us, it says, Pharaoh gobbles donkey goobers.
It's just trash talk.
That's the top line, sir.
Yeah, that's
the bottom line says, Cleopatra does the nasty.
Yeah, she does.
Apparently, we now find out that Bubba is no better than a prepubescent
he
teenager.
just writes bullshit on the frickin' bar bathroom wall.
This is also...
For a good time, call John.
No, that's exactly what it is. This is also when we come to the conclusion that he is an ass sucker.
Yep, because
JFK,
Jack was like, I woke up just in time and his mouth was around my asshole.
And he said, what now?
You can suck the soul out of any major orifice, and what bigger one than the asshole?
And
he's like, your mouth is pretty big.
And he goes, I've got books. Let me show you. Again, with these books.
The book of, like, the soul or whatever.
Right. Again, these books.
Why does he have these? Where did he get them? That's what I want to know.
He's like,
that the girl who says he's her niece brings him these weird ass books. It's all her fault.
We get a little brief interlude while they're doing their stuff, right? Like, he's about to go show him the next set of books.
Yeah.
And we see the nurse out back.
She's having her cigarette. She's had a rough fucking day, and the fucking lights are going nuts in the garage.
I appreciate this scene a lot, right? Because this is the first time we get acknowledgement that it's not just two senile old men make-believing a mummy.
Yeah, because it's something else somebody else sees it.
Because it's something that it can not just somebody else.
A
non-senile patient of the hospital is finally seeing
an authority figure.
Yeah, that's my big, because so far
she sees some weird shit happening, so it's not just these guys. So
far,
crazy.
we have only seen old people that were dying that supposedly saw a mummy. You get what I mean? Like, so I appreciate that we finally get confirmation from a source.
It's real. Somebody other than our two crazy guys.
But as soon as she tells someone, the doctor says,
Asshole.
Shut up, I need you to go blow water up someone's ass. He doesn't say it that way, but that's what she's got to go do.
It's an enema.
That's
what it is.
I said what I said.
That's what it is. It's the definition of an enema.
Look it up.
Blow
I'm not
water up your ass and
well, it
rinse
doesn't even have to be water, but I mean, it has to be.
It's not air, is it?
Just coffee. People get coffee enemas all the time, dude.
What a waste of coffee.
Not only is this doctor a dickhead for coming out to ruin her cigarette break with that information and just belittling her when she tells him about what's going on.
Yeah.
He has no sense of a fucking personal bubble, dude. He's like
right in her fucking face.
He could have licked her nose if he wanted to.
Right in her face.
Like, I was so uncomfortable for her, not as the character, the actress.
Yeah, like
I was like, God damn, dude.
Up a half step,
I promise
dude.
you the director didn't tell you to get that close for an innocuous line like, we need you to go in and do an enema.
Yeah.
again, they were on,
up. Maybe they
were
couldn't get him in frame.
They were on a small budget, dude, and it was a fucked up.
Take.
Yeah, it was fucked up, and they were like, "We gotta go with
the money for take 2.
Thanks,
go
Paul.
with it. Thanks, Dick. This is why you only have 8 lines in the entire fucking movie.
I'm telling you, it was bad.
I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong
But
with that guy.
yeah, she was seeing the flickering lights, right? In the
Flickering
thing.
lights, my ass. That looked like somebody was welding in there.
She called it flickering. I'm just going with
I
her.
would have went in there and looked like there's something
well, especially
going
since
on.
she stayed out. You know, if
she just turns around and ignores it.
If she would have went in when he said, "I need you to go do this," that's fine. I would have let it slide. She stayed out to finish her cigarette. Yeah. You best believe the second my boss was inside, my ass would have been in there looking,
checking
after he blew me off about how
our
important
dads
it is.
are electricians. We can't help it.
But she doesn't, and we see there's another dead body. This is the only time we don't know who it is.
Who the fuck is that? It's just
and nobody,
Kimosabi's roommate, right?
No, because we see that in a minute. Kimosabi shoots at the mummy in his room.
So who's the guy in the shed?
That's what I'm telling you. This guy is never mentioned. We don't know who it is. And as far as I know, since we always see the hearse drivers when someone is found, that body's never found by the end of the movie.
So there's still just a body sitting in the gardener's shed?
I swear to
God. By the end of the movie?
I swear to you.
That'd be funny.
I'm telling you right now.
Oh no, it's the little old lady who said her daughters never visit her when they were in the cafeteria.
Maybe
sitting next to Kimosabi.
That's why they wanted us to see her.
Oh, that would have made me sad. That would have ruined the whole fucking movie. But I bet you that's who it is.
Damn it! Because the only way you can tell is to try to match up clothing. Because you can see the person's shirt and pant patterns. That's all you can.
That's it.
And I didn't have it in me to try to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to look that deep into it.
Yeah. But so after we see this scene, like you said, she doesn't go look, so we don't know. As soon as she goes inside, the door opens. You see the body dead on the ground.
Yeah.
You see him Bubba kind of staggering out, smile on his wicked zombie face, like ha ha ha,
I got another one.
And now we get to go to Jack's room, where he's finally gonna tell him
with the book
about the
because King's reading through the book.
He's gonna explain to him how this mummy works. But before we can start,
you want a ding dong?
Not in a sexual way. I mean, you want a chocolate ding dong.
Well,
I guess now that I'm black, it would be chocolate, wouldn't it?
But I'm talking about like paydays.
He goes. I just mean you want some. I've got this. I got Baby Ruth's paydays.
Jack's holding out. He has got the fucking hookup on the candy, dude.
And then
he just pulls the whole drawer.
The king goes, "I'll have a Baby Ruth." I love this next line. Jack, let's get decadent.
Fucking pulls it out. He's got a whole drawer, dude.
Very Darkwing Duck with that. I almost feel like if we go back, he had a bad guy that was a candy person, right? I bet you. Oh,
dude, that'd be cool.
I bet you, because he changed that shit up, right? Darkwing Duck would always be like, like a shadow, but he would change shit.
There is one where he does
said, let's get decadent.
We have to find it. We have to find Darkwing Duck.
If you are a Darkwing Duck fanatic and you know already, tell us.
Let us know.
If you have them all on DVD, please scour them for us.
Ooh. Send them to me. I want to watch them.
Look, we're not high enough up in the internet world that you should ask people to give up their personal belongings.
I'll give it back. There's a return mailing address. Once I'm done, I just reverse the shit and send it back, right? But yeah, Jack explains to him
this is where we find out
the whole
small souls,
and that's why he's here. He can feed them constantly because they always.
What do you mean small souls?
Look, because we're all fucking burnt out anyway.
Old and close to death. Not much fight left.
Not a lot of fire.
Sound familiar to you?
Right? How you were in the beginning of the fucking movie?
Right.
Just kind of drugged out, zoned, watching everything buzz through.
Which I think also helps to explain what happens here in a minute. Like too much fight in him now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, as he's getting this conversation told to him, this groundbreaking information about a mummy, which does not line up with any other mummy I've ever heard about. Never heard of soul sucking out of asses mummies.
Totally fine.
I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying this is very new.
It's just what happened. I've never heard this from any of the other mummy movies.
While this is going on, we cut to Kimosabi's room.
Yep, his roommate's getting killed.
His ass is getting sucked. But not Kimosabi.
No, he pulls the guns, asshole.
If only these guns were
fucking real, right? I mean,
because
they're little cap guns, though. He is just going for it. Asshole. Chases him all the way down the fucking hallway.
Uninterested too, right? Like doesn't care.
Doesn't give a fuck.
As he's coming down the hallway, it's the first time that our heroes get a good look at him. They've seen shadowy, this and that.
Yeah.
They get a look.
Yep. King's gonna go look out in the hallway because they hear him coming, and Jack's like, "Don't go."
And
He's like, "What? I'm awake."
He gets to the edge of the hallway. He sees him.
And gets a weird.
He gets flashes. He
memory
sees the
transfer?
history, right? He sees the whole history.
It was some guy in ancient Egypt.
Random dude. Wrong place, wrong time.
Fucked the wrong chick or something.
Touched some wrong titties.
Yeah, touched the wrong titty.
Pissed somebody off, and they said, "Fine, I'm gonna kill you and turn you into a mummy."
That sucks.
It's a weird punishment.
Souls.
It's a weird punishment,
It
but
is,
okay.
But the Egyptians, man, they had crazy curses.
And then when he got to the States, he crashed off a bus.
Somebody stole him from the museum, put him on a bus, and then a storm happened and it crashed.
And that's
like part of the flashback he has.
And here's the real kicker, guys. This is where Kimosabe knows him from. Kimosabe was a kid back then.
And saw the bus crash
and
under the bridge.
Was dressed like the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
So again, he's not dressing like the Lone Ranger because he thinks he is the Lone Ranger.
Stuck as a 6-year-old.
He is stuck. He got this horrific event happen and warped his fragile little head.
He saw the fucking mummy when he was a wee lad dressed as the Lone Ranger. And sat there for all hell and fire, popping his little cap guns.
And so I will tell you right now.
And that's how he goes out, man.
Well, heart attack too. We need to point out the mummy did not do it.
He didn't do anything.
He soul sucked out his ass. Soul intact.
No, intact. He goes down, guns blazing.
I feel like what happens during this scene is part of what inspired the king to want to end the mummy, right?
Yeah.
Because for the most part, he's been very much like...
They even talk about, like, we should just leave.
Right?
We should go to another home, right?
I feel like when
Kimosabe fucking makes his big...
No, you're going too far.
Oh, am I?
For me, it was that when Bubba walked down the hallway, he looked at him, turned around like he didn't fucking matter. Just like the nurse did, just like Callie did, just like everybody else in this goddamn place does. He's not important. And goddamn it, again, his mojo is back. He'll be
the
goddamn
king
if you're not gonna treat him like he's important anymore.
All right, I didn't pick up on that one.
I don't know if I'm right.
No, I like yours better than mine actually, because mine was like, oh, he killed my friend.
Yeah, I don't think it was that.
Because he picks up the mask later after he dies.
That's important to him, definitely. I
didn't pick up on the whole like, you disrespected me, you fuck. I'm the king. I like yours better. We're gonna go with that.
At this point, though, it really is kick up time, right? Like they have both now decided they have to put a stop.
Yeah,
to
we
this.
got to figure this out.
They got to figure it out.
Motherfucker.
Stop it. While they're coming to the realization they got to fight, the orderlies and everybody actually ask them,
yeah, they're
what's
like,
going
what happened?
on?
What happened to
They
Kimosabe?
didn't care any of the other times.
No.
But this time, they're like, you got to tell us something.
Fucking grilled him and shit, and they're like, they lie, because who the fuck's going to believe them that a Billy Jack Haynes' mummy came down through here and killed him?
Nobody's going to believe that.
Yeah, nobody. But they just kind of keep it to themselves. They get scolded and shit. It's fine. But they're like, we'll fucking deal with this.
We see this moment again. Like I said, he's getting his mojo back.
Don't forget the orderlies taking poor Kimosabe out of the building. They dropped him.
Like over the bush.
Over the bush.
They
into the
threw
fucking
him, dude.
bushes. Like threw him over and shit. And they're just like, oh, fuck. Just nonchalant. Get him in the truck. Oh, my God.
But then we get this look of, I don't know, again, so much of this movie is just like the king waxing poetic, right? Like about life. And so like you start to get almost a scene of that. He's standing outside. He's just like looking at the
Smelling
street.
the flowers and shit.
The nurse yells at him.
It's time for your nap. He goes the fuck.
It's time for your nap and
your cream treatment. He goes the fuck off. Don't you goddamn patronize me. I'll lube my own crankshaft. You talk to me like I'm a fucking baby again. I'll wrap this fucking walker around your face.
Yeah.
And she's just like, damn, all right, fuck, and walks the fuck away. Good fuck for him.
Yeah.
Because she does the whole movie. If you pay attention, she talks to him like he's 4.
Yeah. Except for when she was attracted to him.
Yeah, except when he had the hard on. Then that was different. But every other time, it's just like, oh, now, best behave, Mr. Half. That's what she calls him. She doesn't want to call him Elvis.
Now, then we see him go up to the door. What was he supposed to be investigating?
I guess where the mummy walked through this door.
But all that happened was that the door blew open.
I don't know.
He
wanted to know how he blew it open. I don't know.
I have more of a problem with that than almost everything else in the movie.
Yeah, because there's no reason.
It was so weird.
There's no reason for you to walk. You should have just immediately went to the creek.
Right?
Right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Because he had the flash. He knew that was important.
Immediately. That's what he does after the door. He goes and walks down to the creek. We didn't need the door.
I love watching him get down to the creek.
He should have just sat down and slid.
This creek is down a hill.
Yeah, it's a
and
steep
he takes
fucking hill,
this
dude.
walker And this is the
great Bruce Campbell acting where
this
he's
is
stumbling.
literally the dirty grandpa.
Bad grandpa.
That's what it looks like right here.
It
Because
does.
it's so funny watching him pretend to be an old man,
trying to go
using
down
the
this
walker,
hill.
but knowing how to walk, and like,
Oh,
it's so funny.
But he gets down to the bottom and shit, and he's like, he remembers Kemosabe talking about the bridge.
Well,
This is where he
and the
makes
Flash.
and
he makes the double connection.
Yeah, connects
between
all
what
that.
he's been told and what he saw.
And then he sees the bus's license plate in the water.
And he knows
that's
he's
like
right.
that's like confirms it for him. How the hell did he get back up the hill?
I have a problem with this. Did he walk 5 miles downstream to where it was flat?
Either that or fucking belly crawled up the damn thing.
Well, with the walker attached by
to his
belt?
just like hooked it onto his shoe or something.
Because again, that man couldn't have. You saw the shape he was in.
He was pretty dirty when he got back. Maybe he did. But he makes it back to his room and he's like, fuck this. I'm tired. Collapses down in the bed, turns the TV on. Elvis movie marathon, which he shits on. I'm down for.
I'm not.
I'm down for it. Matt, my Aunt Tammy loves Elvis. We used to watch all these fucking movies back in the day.
I don't like an Elvis movie.
They're crap. I'm not saying they're good, but I like them.
While that's going on, he proceeds to have what is thankfully the last conversation about his goddamn penis in the movie, where he proceeds to tell us he's convinced it is cancer.
Yep.
And they just never told him.
Nope.
They didn't want to.
Because
they thought he would die before it would kill him.
Yeah.
So we never get confirmation to this. I just want to point out,
that's a little fucked up if it's true.
it is very fucked up if it's true. You always deserve to know something like that.
Maybe we could treat it, not just let it eat my dick.
Right? It's crazy.
I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm a little attached to my dick. I don't want it eaten by cancer.
But like I said, this is our last conversation about his dick. We don't need to worry about it no more.
He rubs that cream on. It looks so painful when he does it.
It looks like he grabs a fist of KY.
Just a huge ball of it. Just the gross sounds. But yeah, that's like thankfully the last.
Yeah, that's it. No more penis talk, guys.
The last time
no more penis
ever
talk.
have to hear about the king's dick.
And he really he reflects on his life one last time too.
How the movies were shit, and and he never had any pride. Should have fired Colonel Parker before he even started those shitty fucking movies.
This is the moment where he really thinks about all of the things that could have made his life.
Yeah.
Not
it's
the way.
It's his own damn fault, basically.
He never would have escaped where he was if he would have made those changes, right? Like that's what he's saying. He's like, I never would have had to take on Sebastian Half
if I'd have done this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
and that's true. Really.
Most of those were very big.
It always sucks when you realize
hindsight's 2020.
God damn it, it's my fault.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, but then Jack comes in, full suit. Has a little
he has an envelope. This is when we finally hear about the niece. We've been making the joke about the niece
the whole time.
But he tells us he's got a niece. Air quotes. He air quotes
the woman who says she's my niece took me down to library to do some research.
Well, and did some of it for him too. And I gotta say, kudos.
Yeah, good for her, man. She's way nicer.
Way
than
to
Bull's
support
daughter.
your crazy fucking uncle.
Yeah, Bull's daughter wouldn't have nothing to do with her.
Proceeds to give the books and the information to him, and so the King's reading it, and he's like,
"Yeah, it all matches up with the memories
so he's
he
King
had.
Tut, more like King Tut's brother." More like
King Tut's bodyguard?
More like King Tut's bodyguard's pubescent son.
Something like it's like
Again,
random.
Think about the stuff on the bathroom wall.
Like a 14-year-old kid who touched the wrong titties. Like
that's what this is.
Yeah.
Let's not try to split hairs about this. But yeah, so they have definitely.
They just wanted you to know it's not actually.
They
King
have
Tut.
definitely now come to the decision. Well, they've already come to the decision.
His research.
This was just
confirms the memories that he had about the bus and everything.
This is the moment where they're like, it has to end now, right? Like, they've already decided that they were going to fight him, but this was like, we have enough information, we need to go before anybody else gets their soul sucked out their ass.
Yeah, this is where he calls Jack on the red phone.
What was this scene, dude? Were they in their own rooms?
Yeah, I think so. Like, because Jack was like, "I'm gonna go to sleep because it's daylight." He's a nighttime guy.
It was so weird.
But then King gets on the phone. He's just like, "Ask not what your rest home can do for you, but what you can do for your rest home." Motherfucker, you're ripping off my lines.
Yeah, they just start quoting. Well, and they kind of just start quoting
each other.
Not quotes. What is it? Where you
parodies?
Paraphrase. They start to paraphrase each other back and forth. The king starts paraphrasing himself, even.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It is. I mean, I will give the scene for being very funny.
Yeah. But we're going to go kill us some mummies.
But why are we calling each other... And so now we get to see them though. This is badass. The hallway shot.
Yeah,
this is like it's like Reservoir Dogs, right?
Full suit. He's got the Elvis gimmick. Fucking Jack's in the suit with the little presidential pin and shit, and he got his fucking electric rolling wheelchair. We're gonna go kill a fucking zombie, dude.
This is definitely that part though. It'll make you realize he should have been Churchill or FDR or somebody,
one of the war presidents, right?
Because most of the
Prime
movie,
Minister,
you're not really seeing the chair, so you don't think about it, right?
The chair kind of comes out of nowhere because he walks with just like a cane.
In the bathroom.
Yeah, he walks.
He took him to the
King.
bathroom, right?
He's more ambulatory than King is, right? He's just King.
Is there a missing scene where he got more hurt and we didn't see it?
Maybe.
That's all I can.
Maybe I don't know, but he has the sweet electric fucking wheelchair and a fucking. What is it, like the pesticide fucking dispenser?
They fill up with gas and rubbing alcohol. What kind of napalm concoction are they cooking here?
I don't know, but I want to try it. I want to see what happens.
It is definitely crazy flammable.
That is going to burn quick and hot.
Oh my God, dude. I was like, this is insane. These guys are really going for it, right? This is a showdown.
He fucking said it. We're going to kill us a fucking zombie, dude.
And they set everything up, right? Like they each go to their places.
Yep. And we have the one more little scene of they're like, we were bad dads, but fuck it, we did our best.
This speech was so stupid though, because again, at this point,
it made no sense.
At this point, we still don't know who's real and what's what, right? So was the dude saying he thinks JFK was a bad dad, or is he saying real him was a bad dad?
It could go either way.
Was the guy saying Elvis is a bad dad, or is he saying Sebastian Haff for abandoning a family was a bad dad?
That we've not heard about until just this moment,
You get what I'm saying?
No, that would be really bad. You're like, you know what? I had this whole other family.
Well, Sebastian did, and I never went to talk to them. I never once, when we traded places, thought I should go ask him about his son.
Right? No, that would be really fucking bad.
You see why I'm saying? Yeah. There's a reason why, regardless of who the king is, he moved past that quick.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was like, I did some really fucked up shit. Good point.
Let's not talk about that. But I gotta know one thing, Mr. Kennedy. Marilyn.
Yes.
How fucking was she? That is classified information, sir.
Really I loved it too, because it sets up for you this moment of him being like, I don't know whether he really believed or he didn't.
But he wants to believe.
And he wants him to think he believes.
Yeah.
He wants his buddy to know, like, I
believe
support
you, dude. I think you're fucking JFK. Now tell me how that Marilyn Monroe booty was.
It's so crazy. But yeah, so now we get them going to their places, right? Now
was Jack's job to go over and take a nap?
Jack's job was to be the bait.
So like that. So he was supposed to fall asleep. Okay.
He was supposed. Well, he wasn't supposed to fall asleep, but he was supposed to be bait, which means your job is boring, right? Like you don't have to be aware of things because you're the guy that just has to be there.
Yeah.
The problem though happens in the mummy doesn't choose the bait as the bait, right?
No, he goes right after fucking.
It goes for the king, baby,
and they have the Walker fight.
I love this Walker fight. He handles this Walker in the fight better than he handled the Walker going down the hill.
Yeah, right. Like he's like slinging it fuck around, takes a big fucking bump.
Took some classes for that.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, I don't know. Do you think maybe like again, Bubba Ho-Tep's a stunt guy, the actor, Bob Ivy? Do you think he taught Bruce Campbell like actual martial arts,
some moves to fight with the Walker,
like actual Walker trained
foo,
right? Do you think it's possible? It's got to be possible.
I want it to be true. I want backstage footage of them like practicing
I'm down to say,
with the Walker.
You know how we do. I'm down to tell everybody it's canon, regardless of what they want to believe. Maybe that's another one of our merches.
Yeah,
we were talking
canon.
Earlier. We got another one.
That's canon. Because we decide, right? We're the lords and masters.
We're the end all be all.
Yeah.
Certainly for our atmosphere.
Yeah, for our universe, that's how it works.
You're here. You're in our realm right now, baby. The main point here, though, is that their plan
goes to shit immediately.
Jack, like you said, half asleep or asleep.
He like snaps awake and he's like looks over and sees
he realizes
him like getting his ass kicked.
He realizes,
like, fuck, my wheelchair won't turn.
Yeah, well, he was just like he was parked again. They were planning for him to be the bait, right? And so like he was just parked in a place where he wasn't ready to make the sharp turn to the back to where he was at, and so it was like, shit,
we're gonna go to big arc. Just goes forward.
This is why you always have to plan A, B, C, D. Yep. You got to have backups.
Contingencies.
Right? One of the contingencies would have been, what if he goes somewhere else?
Yep. What if he comes for me first? Well, then you just 180.
You just make sure the chair is pointed in a way where you can be attacked or you can be on the run.
Right.
To your buddy. No.
But no, that's not how it happens. But they do kind of pincer him, right? Like
Yeah,
they come up the middle and then just the disrespect, man. The zombie look, or mummy. I keep calling him a zombie.
Well, because he does. He
has very
more
zombie look, but he looks at both King and Jack, just kind of meh, and then just fucks off to the side, like, you guys aren't worth shit.
Much like I said earlier,
right?
The disinterest, right? And again, it does. It sparks something in the two of them.
They're like, man, fuck you.
Immediately,
just
Jack
away.
is like, we got to go after him.
I'm gonna flush
him out. I don't even know where he went.
The balls of steel on Jack. He immediately is just like, man, fuck this. I'm gonna draw him out and just rolls in with his little chair.
I want to ask you though. Obviously, we could tell Bob Ivy just hid behind the tree.
Yeah,
do you think the implication is that Bubba Ho-Tep did that? Did Bubba just stop behind the tree? Did Bubba pull a fast one on them? That's what I think.
He just like, haha, I disappeared, quote,
and waited for them to come around and was
and
like,
then pop, boo, boo. You saw me do the disappear trick before, gotcha.
It's quite possible.
It really could. That's what I would have done. I'm like, they think I can disappear. I'm just not going to do it this time.
And then, like we said, though, he does jump out.
Yep. Bitch slaps poor Jack straight out of the chair.
Out of the chair.
Boom.
Chair still going.
Just keeps going.
That's my favorite part. Like, I guess he got hit so hard he jammed that stick.
The stick was stuck and it just keeps fucking going.
But yeah, he gets knocked out of the chair. It looks like our boy Jack is a goner.
He's
right now. Right this second. His ass
sucked,
is gone.
Right? His ass is grass.
But he puts up a fight. He holds his own for quite a bit. We see what's going on with the King. This is comedy to the max with the King right here. He's looking at the chair and he's like,
it's coming.
I got to time this just right.
Time it just right.
So in the beginning, you see him like really positioning himself. And then once he gets it to where it's closer, he stops like really positioning and then fine tunes it, right?
Right.
He looks behind him and he's just kind of like
little last second adjustment.
Jiggling his ass. That's all it is.
There it is.
The first part was like steps, right? And it went from steps left and right to just jiggling the
I need to move my ass a half inch to the left.
The crease,
right?
Like
right in the pocket.
He didn't want to mess up JFK's seat cushion.
I don't want to ruffle the fucking little the donut.
Yeah.
That's on there. Don't want to mess it up.
But so he does, though, perfectly land in this.
Right. And off he goes into the little chair. Sweeps up the flamethrower thing that they fucking
on the way.
Got.
Rams it straight at him. Like literally. And this is, again, to prove the point, this is how cocky Bubba was and how disinterested in them and how little he thought of them. He didn't even notice until literally it was almost on top of him.
Right. Fucking King's just like whistles and shit. He's like, hey, asshole.
What about me?
He fucking sprays him with the fucking gasoline and shit. Dude. Lights his ass on fire with the cigarette lighter. Should have been a hail to the King.
This should have been hail to the King.
Something.
This should have been hail to the King.
Right. Every other fucking movie Bruce Campbell's been in. He's the King.
He is the King. He just set someone on fire. It's that epic moment. Right. Hail to the King.
Hail to the King.
No.
But
missed opportunity.
The mummy goes and burns for a second, so we check on Jack. Poor Jack. He's dying.
He's going.
He's gone. He knows it too. He's like, the president is
He leaves him
dead.
the spell.
Here's the magic words of power. You have to finish this.
TCB, baby.
TCB, baby.
Well, he says take care of business.
Yeah.
But Elvis gets the message.
Yep.
TCB, baby. And again, that's my problem. And I get it. They want him to be Elvis and they want to try to vary from the Ash. But you can't give me TCB, baby, but not Hail to the King, baby.
Right?
It's almost the
same.
It's literally hitting the same like inflection points and stuff.
Such a missed opportunity. It's gonna haunt my dreams.
He gives our fallen president
the final
last salute. Horrible salute.
It was really
like
bad.
Half British almost.
Yeah, it was
like,
really bad.
His hand started to fold upwards. His
Elvis
forehead.
should know better. He was in the army. He should know how to do a proper salute. Calling Bruce Campbell out personally on that one.
But so then he starts to read the note, right?
The words of power, the chant to get rid of the evil.
It is the most hilarious.
It's like
written by a kindergarten
song
student.
lyrics.
It's so crazy. And again, this is Elvis. I mean, this
Elvis.
is a man who believes he's Elvis. This could be Elvis.
Way better lyrics than this. This doesn't even rhyme. It's just like, what the fuck was it? It was like, evil demon, you will go.
It was so goofy, I didn't even write it down, man.
Shit.
I just know that it's goofy.
The heroes of light will kick your behind, or some dumb shit.
Like I said, I didn't.
He's just left there standing like, really? That was it?
He's like, is this even going to work?
Like, that was bullshit.
Does that work? That doesn't work.
So he decides, fuck it. One final charge, do or die, hops in the little chair, full throttle, like 5 miles an hour, but full throttle straight at the fucking mummy, and then we get chair fight.
Well, before we get there, I want to point out when he first did his words to the mummy, then the mummy talked back to him. First time whole movie we saw talking. Why?
I don't know.
Why is this the effect? They spent money on this effect. They spent money on making him speak hieroglyphics and them look like 3D word art from Microsoft
from
Windows.
Nowhere.
Why? Could they see that?
It's pretty funny what he says to him. He's just like, eat dog dick.
No, that's the second time I thought. The first time is just stupid.
Yeah,
right?
the first one's just like by the eye raw or some dumb shit.
But yeah, so he did do the spell. After the spell is when we get the second one, and the second one is the dog dick.
Eat the dog dick of Anubis, you asswipe.
Again, though, I just want to know.
But it pops up in like shitty hieroglyphics and
shitty 3D clip art.
3D clip art hieroglyphics.
It's so like why? Why is that there? It's funny
for 2002. That's probably
and
it definitely budget was
and it definitely throws back to the choke on the dog dick Anubis. It throws back to the 13-year-old boy of it.
Yeah,
all,
carving
right? This
on the
mummy
bathroom
is a
walls.
13-year-old kid for sure. And now we finally get to really see the mummy, right? Like now when we get the close up to him,
he's lost his silly hat and he's all charred and shit from the first fire.
He looks full on scary monster.
Yeah, dude,
now.
the costume is so good.
And we get another fight. Full on, like
they're on the chair. The chair's still fucking going, and fucking King is giving it hell, man. And headbutts.
They fling themselves
off
down
that fucking hill,
the same hill, the hill that we know the King has experience on.
Yep, he went down it on the
upper hand right now. He got his upper hand because he was like, I know
hill. Exactly where that thing is.
I fought on this hill.
I did this fucking on purpose.
I fought myself on this hill.
They take a hell of a bump going down this fucking hill. Poor King pops a rib out,
dude, and then the mummy Bubba just starts brailing him
with a stick for like 4 times, smashed him in the fucking face.
Like his head, brains should have been coming out.
Yeah,
dude. Like
you're fucked.
Those were hard hits.
Yeah.
But he's all right. He's okay.
He's fading though. He reaches out for the gas.
King ain't taking this.
He reaches out for the gas and pulls it, the little stopper thing, and it just flows everywhere. One last fucking big punch.
TCB,
right,
baby.
He says that too, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's like TCB, baby, and then pop punches the mummy right off of him.
Pulls out his
little medicine bag.
Throws the mask out of the way. Gets the matches. Flicks a match.
If at any point during this entire fucking movie, I know we said it earlier, that would have been a good spot. This is the perfect spot for the Hail to the King, baby. Throw the fucking match. Big fucking fire.
Falls into the water.
Win,
He's
right?
dead and gone.
No, we didn't get it though.
We get the fall to the water.
We get the fall of the fire and all that shit, but and the King
no
wins.
Hail to the King.
No Hail to the King though.
TCB, baby.
TCB is all we get.
Literally twice now.
Yeah.
What replaced should have been Hail to the King. 2 times. 2 times this movie did it to us.
Missed.
You couldn't have taken one of those and turned it into Hail to the King.
Especially
both
the second
would have worked.
one.
Both would have worked. Second would have been better, but both would have worked. Shh, bullshit.
Absolute bullshit. But the King wins, but he's fading fast.
And he's giving a speech as he's dying.
Yeah.
Again, waxing on poetic about life and what it means and what this struggle
shit,
is.
But like I get to keep my soul.
Kind of deep, but not
all
deep.
The people
they want you to think it's deep.
Yeah, all the people at the rest home, they get to keep theirs.
Well, that's the thing. It's really just about the fact that he's there dying knowing he saved the day.
Right.
It doesn't matter that
Real
they don't
hero
know.
shit.
Exactly. They don't know. It doesn't matter that they don't know. He knows. They all get to live another day with their soul intact and their asshole tight.
And he finally got to be the hero he played in all the movies, right?
Yep. He looks up at the sky one last time.
More hieroglyphs. The gods themselves approve. They shift the stars.
Guys, I guess this is the Egyptian version of heart sign, smiley face, infinity symbol. It was wavy lines, onk, something.
Pyramid. All is well, basically, is what it says. The gods are telling him, you did great. You can go ahead and die.
And then...
Blick. He does leave us with a thank you. Thank you very much.
And that's the movie, guys.
That's it.
No confirmation on
if he's actually dead or not.
No confirmation on if he's Elvis or not.
Nope, none of that. It just
we don't know
out.
anything. Movie's done. But we do get no scene.
No, but it's
no visuals. Just the words.
Title card.
But the words are enough.
Right.
They hint to us one more movie coming.
Bubba Nosferatu.
Curse of the She-Vampires.
I want it so fucking bad.
The best part about this is it says both names, right? Like
Elvis in Bubba Nosferatu starring Sebastian Haff.
Oh my God. They keep
So who is it? Who's real?
Whoever you want.
Did Sebastian fake his death on the toilet in Graceland?
Is this movie?
So is it like
that
a
movie
fake
literally
death
is
within a fake
Sebastian?
death?
So that movie is
Him.
Sebastian.
That's what I want. I want it to be him.
Elvis did die, but this is Elvis died fighting the mummy. But Sebastian faked his death on the toilet and is now here for the. Oh, dude,
I want it. That's what I want. Oh, that would be so fucking good.
That's it. Somebody write Bruce Campbell.
Do it. Do it now. He's on fucking X.
He's down for that.
Exeter, whatever the fuck I called it earlier.
He loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Exeter is good, dude. I'm gonna always remind you that because that's good.
That is.
You need to use that on the few social media you use. People will get a kick. They'll laugh. You might get shared and go viral, sir. That's a good one.
I'd love to go viral. That'd be great. For a good reason, I want to go viral. Let me clarify.
All right, guys. The movie is done. The movie is great. Obviously,
I love this fucking movie.
Well, again, you know us. We like most movies.
Yeah, we like most movies.
We're gonna find
few and far
things,
between where
we're gonna find the things for you to like, regardless.
Yeah,
and really highlight those. But so the beer. Now, guys, the beer. We got to tell you, this is like some kind of amazing
magic trick,
amazing concoction. So we told you when we started,
the grapefruit.
It had grapefruit. It had the best parts of grapefruit, even. So that's already great for it. As the beer got a little warm, again, we record for a while, guys. Beers can't stay ice cold the whole time. Not hot. We're not drinking disgusting stuff. It's not skunked.
But this
stuff
actually kind of tastes better at room temperature,
it
doesn't
hit
it?
room temp, and all of a sudden, I thought I was tasting like fruit
juice
cocktail hidden in the backdrops of this stuff. Like,
it's amazing.
There's so much more fruit flavor than just grapefruit going on right now.
Like, the movie's great. We all can agree on this, but the beer was the real fucking showstopper.
This was a real shiner.
Dude, Brewdog. Hell yeah.
Way to go, Elvis Juice. Maybe we do need to do this marathon of Elvis movies
and just drink this.
Just me and you. This is not recorded. We're just
gonna sit,
have a day,
just
where
sit
we
and watch some shitty Elvis movies and drink
this all day
long.
Fuck
yes, I'm down. Let's go.
All right, guys. Next thing we gotta do is let you know what's up.
Yeah, what are we doing next
week, dude?
Next week, next week's great. We got a local
hometown again, guys.
From our own local
here
brewery,
in Moorhead,
Sawstone. We love those guys. We got Shag Bark Brown Ale. That's the next one for next week. What Shag Bark? What could we do with that?
You guys know how this works. That's your clue. Figure it out.
Right?
Drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Leave your guesses, and we'll give you a thumbs up or something on that. But
share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
I'm trying to remember. We were at the end. I remember it
now. If you haven't done it, do it now.
On that note, I think we're done, man.
All right, now. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you. I love you.
Bull stuff.